Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a good Saturday night. Today we are doing another URealms Lorebuilding. Let's go do another creative exercise, come up with different ideas for the world map. This might be either the last one or the second last one. Basically, at the end of the stream today, I'll know if I have enough stuff that I can go and kind of think out the world. You won't really ever get to see the placing of stuff on the world. You know, that's not what the stream is for. This is just to come up with the stuff we want to build the world on, and then I'm gonna go and talk to the artists and talk to Dead Bones and think on myself and kind of really set up where things are gonna go. Spooky Butt, Coop, Noodle Moodle, Eric. Hello. We got some gremlins. Sean Craig, Jacktivis. Hello, you guys. Pip, Shano. Hello, guys. By the way, I want to say right at the start of the stream, I'm not feeling on top of my game in terms of coming up with creative ideas. So if today is not as entertaining as the last couple sessions of this, I apologize. It's my fault. I woke up and I read some things on the internet and it upset me, and I've just been off all day, and I've been trying to just get in the groove of being creative, but I'm hoping Dead Bones is more creative than me today, or that he can trigger my creativity, you know? Dead Bones is great like that. He's a great backboard, you know? If ever you're like, man, let's go play some basketball, and you need a backboard, that's your man. Speaking of which, hello, Dead Bones.
Hi. Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, Dead Bones, it's time to recap on what we did last week and the week before.
Mm-hmm.
It's always important to recap, just so we can get rid of the things that we thought were stupid.
I see.
Because I know you. You don't ever really tell me right away if the idea is stupid. You let me leave it there and then see it the next week, and then I realize it's stupid, and I'm like, how did this ever stay on this list?
It's a case of you put it on the list for now, and then, you'll realize the joke isn't as funny later.
You let me get away with a lot of things on the list that I'm surprised they survive.
It's true. Because sometimes I do find them secretly funny. Despite myself.
Are you sure just not a yes man?
Yes.
Clever answer. All right, let's just get right into it, guys. Let's recap. All right, what do we got here? What chill music am I listening to? We're gonna listen to StarCraft 2 this week. We're gonna go spooky with the Dead Bones.
Get spooked.
Now to recap what we have done so far. Awesome.
Where's our recap music, Rob?
I mean, you want me to play the Billy the Pirate?
No, don't, please. Recap.
Tower of Ultimate Wizardry, Winterstone, the King Slime, All Things Are Staying, Dead Bones. We know we need a new Deadlantis. We're gonna call it Bona Vista. I like that. Fun callback to other stuff I've made. Magical Scar, Final Talon, Catfight Island. I think we can keep Catfight Island for the name.
Yeah. Campfire Island's fun. Titanium Greatsword, that's not going. That's fucking super strong.
Gem Mountain.
Love Gem Mountain.
Really?
Yep, I love the Gemperor.
Okay. So the Gemperor is the mountain. Are we assuming that one day, like, the mountain just gets up and, like, 3 legs come out and a bunch of arms bust out of the mountain and it just walks across the countryside?
Yep.
How often does this feels so Goldstant? Like Goldstant does this.
Well, maybe it doesn't move. It doesn't have to move that much. It has the ability to move. Doesn't mean it has to move.
Maybe it should migrate.
Oh, the Great Gem Migration. Gemgration.
Yeah. So it just goes between 2 spots.
Yeah. It's like a
Although
bird.
that kind of feels like the cheese wheel idea, because it kind of like would have like a devastation path.
A traveling thing.
That's the problem with a mountain moving, is the destruction it causes. It's kind of similar to some of the other world destruction things we have. And how many world destruction events can we have traveling across the countryside, you know?
What if he doesn't move? What if he's just a stationary mountain?
Then he probably shouldn't have legs. He should just have arms.
You can take away his legs. That's what I'm saying. Take away his legs. He can't move anymore. Now he's just a fucking mountain with 8 arms, which is still funny and crazy.
So maybe there can be like a cool platform that goes right to in front of his face. You know? You can't even really tell it's a face until he like opens his eyes and stuff. It's kind of...
Oh, yeah. He's like that creepy dude from Return to Oz. The Gnome King or whatever the fuck he was called. It's just a face in the gem. This is where all the gemlings come from.
Okay. Abandoned Dragon Silver Plant that's now a Troom Shrent Forest. That's fine. Yeah. Elon Tusk the Walrus. No, we're going to get rid of this.
Fun joke, but... we did have the walrus lore, which we didn't write down.
Elon Tusk is funny, but not something that I need to ever do.
Elon Tusk is funny for one of us to name our companion walrus at some point.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's really...
That's all it is.
Yeah.
A lot of walrus lore that wasn't written down.
So it was most of them being real super smart. Mr. Perker. Honestly, it's up to you how much you want to keep of that. As long as we get round squirrels out of it, just big chubby squirrels, that's all I need. That was the best part of that for me.
Chubby squirrels.
Chubby squirrels.
Highly intelligent. What else did we cover in that?
You gave them the thing of Mr. Burger dying to distract them from figuring out the actual truth of their fucking universes.
Oh, because Mr. Burger was a gnome, right?
Yep.
This is very similar to the crocodile story.
But isn't he going around like actually making fucking mechanical monsters?
Yeah.
It's a little different. Honestly, Mr. Burger, I feel like we just came up with to have something to say. This is why the walruses aren't figuring out, the fact that the math doesn't add up in their universe.
How was Mr. Burger dying?
Oh, what was he dying of again?
What do we end with that?
He had some kind of weird disease.
It's random, Silvertongue. I don't always respond to people's emails. I'm more likely to respond to people's emails depending on what's in them. But it's just a time thing.
Oh, chat was saying he was turning into stone.
I try to respond to most people who reach out to me, but sometimes I just can't, or I don't want to. Not because of the person, but because I like talking, Like I'm an introverted person, Deadbones. Sometimes I get emails and I'm just like, I don't want to communicate with other humans.
I don't think I've gotten an email from another person that's not a company in a long fucking time.
You don't put your email address out there, though.
Nope. Apparently, yeah. He was turning into stone. I don't know why he was turning into stone.
Why was he turning into stone?
It was a disease.
Why
Burgeritis.
But why would we choose turning into stone?
I don't know.
Is there a joke there?
They put him up as a statue when he turns to stone. Guess that I remember that being a vaguely. That was 2 weeks ago.
Burgeritis.
Burgeritis.
Wasn't this last week?
No, this was the week before last.
Mr. Burger was last week. Wasn't last week?
Yeah, last week
okay.
was that was Cheese Wheel.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Is Mr. Burger a Keen?
I don't know. Is he a Keen or is he a gnome? I mean, he's a geneticist kind of guy, right? Or is he a geneticist? No, he's not a geneticist.
I don't think he is a geneticist. I think he just wasn't he like an adventurer, and then he met the walrus people and he helped educate them. Or
so he could be a Keen. He can be a Keen or a gnome. Probably Keen, 'cause Keen's cooler. But.
We'll figure this out. There's a base here. I think Mr. Burger gets gutted.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Like again, he was only there as a thing of like, this is why they haven't figured out the math doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I like how I was smart enough to ask that question, because that'd be my the problem I have with anyone who's highly intelligent is them being because you always want your characters to ask questions that you would ask if you were in their place, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, the cheese wheel, a giant wheel of cheese that's nonstop. These all good. We keep the cheese wheel, man. The groove is good. We got math.
Yep.
This stuff isn't on YouTube. This one goes on YouTube next week, I think.
Latitude.
So if you haven't heard the cheese wheel idea, oh boy, boy, the cheese wheel it's the top.
The cheese wheel solved a big problem of where the fuck were all these other races.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem that solved, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like the cheese wheel is campaign 6 of season 4. So
Okay.
it's not this year, it's next year. And it's the one we come back to, and it's when we are gonna like talk a little bit about the other side of the world. Yeah. And then we can do like one campaign traversing the cheese wheel, and then we could do one campaign on the other side of the cheese wheel that has some connection to the main story. Probably something foreign related. Something we're going. What's the story of the world is we're about to go into a big war of the living and the dead. So we probably have to contact the foreign.
We're doing a what movie is that? I'm trying to think. Is it Lord of the Rings, or they're trying to contact allies? No, that's a different movie. We're going to all the other races to try and get them to join the Horde. We're doing a Warcraft.
Well, I think the elves were already doing that, right? That's why they made the Ironstone Accords.
They just didn't go past the cheese wheel yet.
Yeah, they're just now they got this ageless problem. Well, they don't have an ageless. Yes, they do. Because the elves,
they do.
They had their like private party boat blown up.
Yep.
My goodness. You know that episode, A Night to Remember? The one thing that campaign didn't do well is solidify that the ageless did a terrorist plot on the elves, the children of like the elves' high council.
Oh. Instead, they got a legendary item that can teleport them anywhere in the world once. I can't wait to use that.
Didn't they?
Yeah, that's probably the best story thing we've given them in a while.
That's another thing I need to put on here. I'm gonna put it near the top. Figure out all the legendaries so far, who has them, and where they are.
Oh, that would be a good idea.
I've been pretty casual with legendary things, but the ones that are actually legendary in the sense that they have world-changing abilities, we need to find those. Sometimes the legendary items were just, here's something that makes your character more your character, or here's a plot device.
Yeah.
But some of them are actually like, can kill a god weapons, and we need to figure out where those are, and then make sure we know they're on the map. Because, for example, the sword that you see Virgo use to kill the dragon in the season finale of last episode, in the fancy cutscene we had, the anime one,
Flame.
is the same sword that comes from Den of Devils, which was first introduced in
Unexpected Discovery.
And I believe it's at the bottom of a lava lake.
Yep.
Because Ko's character dropped it in the lava.
Yeah.
So we can assume it's just there.
It's just hanging
So
out.
either the dragon has it, or we got this cool sword sticking out of lava thing, I think. You
Yeah,
know?
we need to get a character that can traverse lava to get it.
Yeah, we wouldn't have it sink to the bottom of the lake. We'd do
No.
sword in a stone with type of thing. And it's
Just sword
in
in
the middle
lava.
of yeah, it's the middle of the lava lake. Crazy powerful sword. The sword has been used to kill dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Cheese
Master
wheel.
puppeteer who is puppet mastering entire city of people. Mount Willikers, okay. The decay, where all the
like
bodies of the dead elves were teleported to creating a desert of black ash. The spirit, man, we were on fire last week, dude.
Yeah,
the
so the
spirit
decay
of,
was.
The spirit of dead elves sometimes appear as mirages, prone to ageless 70 million bodies, aka 170 million pounds of ash.
So fucking good.
This is my game, Sriracha. This is URealms, the card game. You can see all the cards on urealms.com, and you can play it for free in Tabletop Simulator. And what we're doing today is we're working on the world map and trying to figure out all the big, what do we call them? Landmarks, all the big landmarks, things that are so big that we'd have to decide they exist there before we commit to actually finishing a map, right? So we have things like a cheese wheel that goes around the map and a mountain that comes to life and things like that, things that are going to be massive. I like this decay though.
Yeah, the decay.
This is good
like
too because it's very story related to all those elves died, what happened to all their bodies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That Quintara did it. Quintara did it.
Okay. Keens are genetically modified gnomes to be superior.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's something. I think that's not changing as far as I know.
Lost Vegas. The city has a memory bubble. Okay, hold on. Do we want to keep this?
The
city has a memory bubble that makes it so anyone who enters it will forget everything that happens once they leave. In addition to this, those who leave Las Vegas only remember that they never want to return and that what happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas. Okay, yeah, we can keep that.
Yeah, if you didn't use Las Vegas, I would have used that in the Dead Realms. Like 100%. Las Vegas, really, really strong.
A really big boat that is also Venice City. Giant animals pull the boat around the world. Beavers?
Maybe a hyperbolic. Oh, that's the next part. Never mind. How attached to our Venice boat? I like floating cities just in general. I think they're cool aesthetically.
I like the idea of a boat city.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds hyper anime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
I am almost wondering if it's a city that can dock with land and undock. That way we reveal the city as a boat and it is not automatically a boat. So maybe we take like the Sacred Blue City.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we make Sacred Blue a boat.
Maybe we make Sacred Blue.
Okay, yeah. I like this idea.
Secretly a boat?
Sacred Blue secretly being like a fucking battleship is awesome.
So we do that campaign once where the city is gonna be overrun. There's nothing they can do, and they're just like, pull up the anchor.
And they just fucking set sail and it just pulls away.
And it's just got the biggest fucking anchor, dude.
Oh yeah.
This anchor, like just the size of a building, comes just out of the middle of the city. There's got to be a big pond in the middle of the city. And there's a big chain, and nobody knows what the chain does.
The chain that goes into a fucking lake. Like, oh yeah, that's just the chain. What's going on?
They're raising the anchor. It's an earthquake. Okay.
I love it.
The hyperbolic time chamber, huh?
Well, you wanted a hyperbolic time chamber, which I get. It's a cool concept.
More old stupid death signs for elves who didn't know they could die. That's hilarious. Yeah. Don't forget to eat.
Don't forget to eat.
Remember, there is falling damage.
There's falling damage.
It's funny because it's gaming lingo, obviously, right?
Oh, can we have Rob? Can we have one that says "Don't stand in the fire"?
Don't stand in fire. Don't
fire.
stand in fire.
Please.
Holy
I know references,
shit, dude.
but still.
So this, if you don't know, in URealms lore, before the birth of magic, elves were immortal and they just lived as immortal children. And then one day they were able to die. And so imagine if you were a society of gods and then one day you just could die. You know, crazy shit would happen. You'd have people that would want to die because they're just curious about the concept of death. That is strange to them. You'd have people committing murder because maybe they just hate people. They're like, oh my God, now I can actually do something about it. It's a scary thought. And so in our world, 70 million elves died like that. That's what this decay idea was up here. You know, 70 million fucking elves died, and they had to take all the bodies and they put them in the desert, and it was scary. Anyway, but we imagine that if you lived in a society where everyone was stupid about death, there'd have to be signs everywhere that were, you know, the government made. Essentially, the elven government was like, the first thing we gotta do is get out knowledge. I want signs on every corner that remind people you gotta drink water at least once a day. But don't drink too much water or else you drown. It's just like it shows how much water you're allowed to drink at once. A glass filled of water, that's good. A pool filled of water, that's too much. I don't believe elves need to sleep. I believe elves do sleep now. Some elves do sleep. Mostly because it's enjoyable. They sleep for recreation.
I mean, I sleep for recreation.
Yeah.
It's just what sleep do.
Yeah. In URealms, if you were an elf who is known for sleeping around, that just means that you like to take naps all the time, I would imagine. Yeah. It would make way more sense in their context of the world. So. Okay. What are we missing, Dead Bones? I like this. We have some big stuff.
We've got a lot of really big stuff.
We got forests.
Yeah.
We got ice.
Yeah.
We got fire.
Yeah, unless you want to put the firestone back in.
We got Deketh. We got the magical scar.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go through. Let me load up the fan ideas here, because I like going through them.
The fan ideas.
The fan ideas inspired the cheese wheel, after all.
It's true.
I think somebody said the word cheese wheel, and I stopped reading their idea and was like, how about a giant cheese wheel? Is what happened.
I thought it was like the initial idea was a cheese biome or something.
Yeah, it was. I heard the word cheese, and I was off to the races with it.
Yeah. And we took it literally and made it an actual cheese wheel.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Gotta figure out where we were. Remember this, Albuquerque, the Great Library. We never figured out a library.
Yeah, we wanted a library, but we don't know where to put it. That's the thing.
So, the Binu could have a library.
Sure.
Let's think of who could have libraries.
Sambolds.
I don't know if I like doing the Sandbolds, though.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're kind of corrupted, you know?
Well, they're dead, so. But who else could have a library?
what I mean by corrupted is I feel like when you saw where they were in our timeline, they've rated everything. You know,
Yeah.
they're such a decrepit form of what they used to be. And they weren't really, well, they would have a library, they'd have the journals they gave
Yeah,
Shanto.
that's the only reason I thought of the library was because they had the journals.
Yeah, we know about the Believer library. We don't care about the Believer library though.
This is like an actual library.
The Believer stuff is it's solid super. Like Nisovin, he's got his own fucking world. We do that this year, I think. We do the Nisovin campaign.
Oh, we're doing Nisovin Jamboree.
I think the campaign is called Nisovin's Jamboree, and it's where we go to the city of Nisovin.
Is that the one where we all play as Nisovin?
Yes, everybody
Okay.
plays as a character named Nisovin, and you're
That's
all
great.
believers. Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
So you basically I'll give you like a small character sheet of this is Nisovin. Now add something to it.
Yeah,
That could be as
here's your
simple as adding an
attribute that changes.
accent. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. Here's an attribute that you now have to add on to it.
Who else could have a library?
So the Sandbolt one is interesting because their library is of a specific book, and that's like they were to watch over the elves, right?
Yeah, theirs is just like a fucking research notes almost, you know, of notes of like this is what the elves have been up to.
And don't aren't they? Man, weren't they original? God, the problem is I have their new lore mixed up with their old lore. Because weren't they the defenders of the timeline originally? Who defends the timeline? Nobody does now.
They were originally defenders of the timeline. Now there's nobody. But I think that idea did we scrap that?
I think we had to scrap that because
We did
of how that
scrap that.
campaign went. There's
Yeah.
nobody that defends the timeline, and there never was.
Yeah.
You know who defends the
maybe.
timeline? We do. We have to.
That's true.
That's the sad thing is because the Sandbolt campaign went the way it did. Now we don't have our characters that do it for us.
Mm-hmm. So now we got to do it ourselves.
Yeah, we just have to. We just got
Kill
to
more-
do plot. No, we have to do plot armor war.
Kill more puppies.
That's weird though. We're gonna have to do so many campaigns where certain characters have plot armor.
Unless you want to make another Time Guardians, but
We already tried to make one Time Guardian. I don't want to make another Time Guardian. I got a corrupted Time Guardian. Wait, what is another Time Guardian? At least we weren't corrupted. How many Time Guardians do we need, man?
one for the south side where the cheese wheel cuts it off.
Obviously, we're just gonna have to do something. I know what. Nobody's gonna like it, but I know how we can do plot armor without plot armor. We're gonna have to still have Time Guardians.
Time Guardians?
There are some characters that exist outside the timeline, like us. Dead Bones that we could use.
Are they Rob? Would you call them a force, like a protective force employed by the government, like a cops? Are they time cops?
No.
Shit. I wanted time cops.
You want
so
time
bad.
cops?
I want time cops. Oh yeah, I should have gone for the time gnomes joke. Oh well.
Time gnomes, dude.
I should have gone for the time gnomes joke.
We did a campaign, and it was called Time Gnomes 3.
Dude, we can do a campaign called Time Gnomes 3.
And it just it leaves off, but we never know. We don't know the plot of Time Gnomes 1 or 2. It just starts.
Yeah, it's just a joke, but
It starts on where the last cliffhanger ended that you never
but
get
the
to
actual
see.
characters are, you know, the Time Guardians.
Yeah, so I like this campaign as like a completely irrelevant campaign, and they have nothing to do with the timeline.
Oh,
They're
there's just nothing.
There just isn't nothing campaign. They're just time
Okay.
gnomes.
Still fun to do.
I think they're called time gnomes because like they're all related, and their dad owns a clock shop or something. Yeah.
Oh, is that the one we do with the crocodiles? That feels like a crocodile campaign.
Oh, it does feel like a crocodile,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
That is the crocodile campaign.
It's Time Gnomes
It's
3.
time gnomes. You played the kids of Manifusion who created the crocodiles.
Yeah,
And you're bringing him clocks.
Yep. Love it.
And there's some form of, you know, PETA that's trying to stop you because your dad kind of just installs clocks in the face.
I mean, what he's doing is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, we gotta read that lore. How does that lore work? Why does he
What?
put the clocks in the crocodiles again?
Isn't he just crazy?
All right, let me see if I have the lore. I really want to remember why he puts the clocks in the crocodile's
My understanding
face.
was that he was nuts, but
No, there's like a revealed lore for this. Remember, this was season 2 when we did lore cards? And I stopped doing those because nobody ever remembers the lore from lore cards. Not even me. And it's dangerous to create lore that nobody remembers. It's on my other computer.
I know he was part mechanical too. But that's
Right.
all.
Time to see if the Wiki Boys
Kept
the lore.
Did
It's
they
up to
keep
the
the
Wiki.
lore?
Manny Fusion. Crocodile.
Okay.
Lore. Crocodile card. Oh, man.
They have it?
No. Oh, maybe they do.
It says it's unknown. Why does
Crocodile.
it?
No, there is a lore card. Oh, that's cool. Did I have... I must have had... Who did this? Was this... Did Haunter do... Haunter, if you're watching this later on, did you do the lore cards on the website? I don't remember.
Yeah, after reading that lore card, it still says it doesn't know why they did it.
Well, some believe that they are born with clocks. The truth is all crocodiles are an engineering achievement of an egotist. Oh, that's a bad start. No, named Manny Fusion Clockbender. How and why... Dude, we can totally do time gnomes. How and why he has devoted so much time to transforming ordinary crocodiles into these ticking abominations. Okay, so I have not revealed it. So
No.
the good
So if you
news
had
about... well, yeah, well, I still have it somewhere in the lore doc. But it's one of those things that if I haven't revealed it, then...
We can change it.
I can change it still.
Yeah.
We
But
can go
Time
back
Gnomes
and
needs
look
to be
at
a
it.
campaign.
Time Gnomes is a campaign.
Has to be a campaign.
Yeah, right. We don't have enough campaigns to do Time Gnomes.
Oh, I mean, look, we have to have campaigns there that can potentially get cut. we had them last season, so we need those campaigns. Like, all right, we can cut this.
Dude, we have... oh, no, I clicked away from my music. We have so many campaigns we have to do because they're Nader's Unforgotten Realms books. Yeah, did you forget about those?
I did not. How could I forget? She's not
Now,
bad. She's light.
For those who haven't heard of this, this is because you're not a super fan of URealms, and that's fair. That's understandable. But in our cartoon of Nader's Unforgotten Tales, there is a part where we show his bookshelf, and the bookshelf has all of these books with names on them. Here, I found it.
You find it?
Has all of these names on it. Oh, they're so tiny though. And some of them are the names of campaigns we've already seen, and then some of them are obviously just campaigns we haven't done.
There we go. Newport City.
Newport City.
Fifth Rodeo.
The Fifth Rodeo. Under the Sea. That one's
Yep.
so easy. That's literally any campaign.
Yep.
The
King
fifth
Frost-
ro-
Oh.
The Fifth Rodeo is about Golstant Landing.
Yeah.
Because I remember who talks about it. It's Gallon.
It's his
Gallon-
catchphrase.
Yeah, Gallon says something about a rodeo once. This is my
isn't
fifth
our-
rodeo. So
Yeah,
this
the-
is the campaign where we do that one. Yeah.
He's like, this isn't our first rodeo.
The King of Frostcrag.
Yeah, that was Dwarf Lore.
I don't remember this one.
I'll
I'll have to look it up.
he's in the lore doc under the Dwarven Kings.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Hold on.
Or at least he should be.
Sorry, Chad. I can't reveal everything to you guys because some stuff is fun if you get to experience it during the show.
It's true.
Okay. Optical illusion. That's anything. Never say no in Abracadab. That's just when we do our Abracadab campaign.
Yeah,
but
That's just the Abracadabra campaign.
The Suffering of Gwyneth. Oh well, that's like every other campaign. That one's easy.
Yeah.
Nisifin
Jamboree.
Jamboree. We do that this season.
Yeah.
The new boss was
That got
supposed to
cut.
be. That was last season.
Yeah, that's why I got cut. I want to
That
do
one
it
got
at some
cut.
point because I do like it.
Murder at Playbold Mansion, that's a filler.
Mm.
Battle of the Bards 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't ever have to do this one.
Nope. It's there.
Because we already have done Battle of the Bards as a campaign, so the fact just being it there, that's just like Nader has a story. And he's like, I'm skipping this one. He doesn't. Nader doesn't do every campaign because he doesn't do the third one. What's the third campaign of season 1? The pirate one.
Oh, he skipped over the pirate one, right?
He skips over Jewel of Dingo Isles.
Which
because
is sad.
I think because Jewel of Dingo's Isles, when we looked at it, we could turn the entire campaign into a paragraph because there's no substance to that campaign. It's one of our first shows. And in that campaign, the guys get on a pirate ship, they sail, they get to an island, they find the treasure. That's the story.
Yeah, that was actually all that we did, wasn't it?
That's all that happens. And I mean, there's combat in between, but honestly, I mean, Nader doesn't really always go over that shit. You know?
That can be like mentioned in the new crew.
Exactly, because we come back to all those characters in New Crew, so he skips over that one. Yeah, he doesn't do Gobos of Pat. So then he goes to Sun Swords. So it goes Band of Thieves, Pork Hunters, which we're going to be starting soon here because I want to try to get that one done this year. And then it goes to Sun Swords.
Mm-hmm.
And then Unseen Rogues probably get skipped over too.
Yep. Because I think again that one would show up in the new boss retelling.
Yeah. Well. There's nothing. That one was just a world building campaign. There's no story in it except for the character story.
Yep. There's no nothing established.
Yeah. The season 1 campaigns are weird like that because season 1 we didn't have an arcing story. We were just trying new stuff from week to week to week.
Like if we cut Unseen Rogues, then we also cut Kobold Headhunters from Naders.
Yeah, but you don't cut Zarlans.
Which one?
You don't cut the Zarlan Catacombs.
Zarlan Catacombs, you should. That's got lore stuff and characters that are set up for future things.
Yeah. And then once it gets into season 2, you probably tell all of them except for
season 2, yeah.
Some of them might get merged.
Some campaigns get squished together. Because it's like, this just goes better into this.
You skip over all the Tower of Ultimate Wizardries.
Oh, 100%.
I don't think Nader ever talks about them. Even though there's like important lore in the second one, he doesn't need to. He can just bring that up another time. We can
just have one that's just the Tower of Ultimate Wizardry, and it's just there's a bunch of stuff that happened in it, but this is just about Quintara.
Does he do Guild of Explorers?
No.
Maybe actually. Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to just use that with something else?
Yeah, I don't know what though. Like he doesn't have to do Bloodsnake Queen hilariously because that one also comes up in Okonoma Guild Little Hall. Yeah.
Yeah. Death of Virgo he probably does have to do.
Yeah, he has to do Death of Virgo.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to do any of the other ones.
No. Like Guild Explorers you could mix in with Duke Darius' introduction.
7th dragon aspect Deadbones.
Yes.
My
we know
God.
Who that is.
Yeah, we know who that is. Tears of the Gumio. That one can be one can be almost anything. Just means the Gumio has to be in it.
It's just a campaign featuring a Gumio.
War of the Kittens. Oh,
Catfight
dude, that's
Island.
Catfight Island campaign.
Catfight Island.
Enter the Shadow Realm. Such stupid. She's not bad. She's aight.
Yeah.
This is not a real campaign. A politics campaign where this is the punchline. Is this even one?
Yeah.
Is this a real one? I don't know if this is a real one in the books.
No, that's a real one.
And it's like the world politics. Yeah, oh, it's like everybody's a politician and they're all running campaigns. Yes, I get it.
Yep. The mini mana arc.
The mini mana arc. I don't.
Was that kids? I think that might have been a kids one.
Yeah, I don't know what that one is.
Veil Queen. I know who the Veil Queen is.
Jintovin and the First Believer. Well, that's about Nisovin.
Yeah,
March
well,
of the First Frost.
Technically it's about Jintovin.
Yeah, well, it's about Jintovin, but it's about Nisovin. March of the First Frost. That's the ogres. Mm-hmm. The Yes King. That's Abracadab again. Yeah. Smoldering Fury. I don't know what that one's about. TikTok Croc Doc. Oh, see, that's the Time Gnomes campaign, and TikTok Croc Doc is better than Time Gnomes.
Yeah, it's a better name than Time Gnomes.
Dude, we can't do a campaign called Time Gnomes because we got one called TikTok Croc Doc.
Unless you want to do it as the setup to TikTok Croc Doc.
Do you really need 2 campaigns about the fucking crocodiles?
I don't know.
That seems like so much crocodile lore.
Yeah, what if it's Time Gnomes 3 TikTok crocodile?
That's ridiculous. It's over the top, guys. You know it is.
Smoldering
Endless
Fury, I think,
Nightmares
was...
about Gold Stamp. Spooky
Smoldering
Scary Skeletons is just an ageless campaign.
Yeah. King of Slimes.
King of All Slimes, Daragar. Been there, beanie that.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Okay. Those are funny.
Yeah,
There's
we
too
got
many
good campaigns.
There's too many campaign names. There's no way we do all those.
No. But some of them we'll definitely do.
And then some of them we might do as the DLC for the
Oh, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah,
we can like throw them.
That's how we, because that's how we'll keep telling stories if people are interested in, you know. I kind of like that future if that ends up being where we go after 7 seasons, just kind of doing these, because then we'll
campaigns.
And well, the thing is, we'll play the campaign too when it comes out
yeah.
live. Yeah, and that'll be cool.
It's like a little bonus. Like, hey, we're gonna run through it, and now here's the one for you guys.
Okay.
Back to the dot.
Let me go back to the list. Let me go back to the list of people's ideas.
I think we're on page 5 because that's the one that starts with what happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I think we were on 5. Excuse me. All right. The light, not to be confused with the paladin kind. It's a giant magical ball under the sea that makes 2 hours of nights. Again, to make the underwater ageless civilization. No. They need to be in the dark. The Mafia Mage Mountain Range. A series of floating upside down mountains used by the Mafia to get around the laws about being the country... by being above the country by levitating above it. Okay, so it's a floating mountain that are upside down.
Yeah. And they're high enough that they're out of this the reach of the country's
I think this guy believes the world of URealms to have stricter laws.
Yeah, I don't know how we have like borders. It's like border laws.
There's no cops really coming after your crimes that much.
Except
that's the Sun Swords, and they're like they deal with like big shit or immediate shit. I'm pretty sure, like, because there's a lot of bandits in the world.
There are.
If there's a lot of bandits in your world, you can't also then have like really good police officers.
And we have like sheriffs and stuff. Usually, it's just more like we're local. We only take care of local shit.
Yeah, it's local problems.
Local problems.
The Stronghold, a neighborhood of forts built by wealthy elves after the birth of magic to try not to die. Oh, that's an interesting idea.
It's like a Fallout vault.
Just like they went the equivalent of a Fallout vault, but they just made a super castle.
Okay, that could be interesting. But
So
what elves did it?
Well, first we gotta think. Yeah, what elves did it?
What else did it?
So it's got to be the architecture family, the arcane one. Drowin? Are they the Drowin?
Drowin or the Dark?
No, that's the Dark family. Yes, that's Dark
the Lotus.
Family. Is it the Lotus?
Family? Is it Lotus?
Did we cut them and make it?
Oh wait, no, we cut the Architect family.
We cut the Architect family.
There used to be an extra one in Arcane, but then we were like, just give Quintara Lotus.
Then we decided to give it to Quintara Lotus.
Yep.
Yeah. We decided to make her because she became an elf family essentially because she just helped the elves during the thing.
No, they could be Lotus, but
they give her a seat in the government. Okay, so we don't have the architecture family. Which family would do it?
Barringsters. No.
We could work it into Barringsters.
Could be a subset of Barringsters.
Because Barringsters have like the world's vault.
Yeah.
Where they have all the gold. They have the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Like the super vault where all the gold is saved up, where they've stored it.
Maybe the super vault is in their super stronghold.
It could be.
So there's like the Barringsters that live outside that they have to go in and visit their relatives.
I'm trying to imagine
solitude.
So they're building this giant thing, and they just found out they can die. What are they most afraid of? Like what? Why do they build such a big fortress? Like what?
All of the killing and magic, and the monsters. A lot of monsters came out of the birth of magic.
Sure, but I don't think it was just like Monster Hunter World immediately. You know, I don't think the elves are just like, oh shit, it's a jungle out here. I think it was more so like, you know, different habitats were changing and then they started to collide. And some of those would have been over years that happened. I don't think it was just like next day, you know, you have fucking flying raptor bears and you're just like, oh my god, birth of magic.
Well, I mean, we have all the fucking murder that happened at the start.
Do we have dinosaurs?
Not yet.
Do we have raptors?
Not yet.
Oh, we're gonna put some raptors in.
We can put some in. We have things that are kind of dinosaur-like.
We have those little raptors.
Yeah.
The ones with all the tentacles.
Yeah. Octodrakes.
Octodrakes.
Yeah.
But
We
we
should
need
put
some
some dinosaurs.
raptors.
Yeah, we need some dinosaurs. We need a T-Rex.
No. T-Rex. We don't need T-Rex. That's just a
Why?
dragon.
No, it's a T-Rex with longer arms. We fix the T-Rex.
No. It's got like elastically arms. So you think it has short arms, but they can go up to 40 feet. Their primary way of attacking, poking your eyes out. So it's an I-Rex.
I-Rex.
It wrecks your eyes, man. What do you want?
It wrecks your eyes.
It wrecks your eyes. It's an I-Rex.
It's
It's got little hands that stretch out and they poke you in the eye. Yeah.
So it's like a T-Rex. It's a small T-Rex, though.
Oh, nah.
No?
They just got small hands with really sharp talons.
Okay.
Okay? And they stretch out.
They blind their enemy before they eat them.
Yeah. Do I spell Rex like Rex, or do I spell it like
Rex.
Rex?
No, like Rex. Like Rex.
Like
Yeah.
W?
Yeah, I-Rex. Yeah.
Okay. It's a T-Rex, but it has but its small arms can stretch out to 50-ish feet.
50. I like that we're using feet since we don't have feet.
I know, I just want to use it for my mind.
How many squares is that? How many squares can they stretch?
Its main way of attacking, well, that would be 10 range, at least. Its main way of attacking is poking its victim in the eye. Okay, this tells us nothing about the whole Beringster thing, though.
Oh, you muted yourself.
This tells us nothing about the whole Beringster thing, though.
No, that was an extra thing. Yeah.
Stronghold.
Where were they hiding from?
I want a reason to build a big, giant stronghold that's bigger than it should practically be.
Like Fort Knox.
What if
Mm.
they had the money to build it, so they just kept building it to collect more gold? What if it was a greed thing? It's like they had a defense budget, so they kept improving the fort because they realized that if they didn't, they would get less funds.
Right. That's interesting.
It's a bureaucracy problem that caused the building of like this giant fort that is something like, it's got to be like multiple layers. Like first they made one fort, then they put a fort around it, then a fort around it, then two forts around those that are connected in the middle, and then one big fort around it. Then there's like an iron cage, okay? Then a fort around that. Then there's 4 separate forts connected with walls, okay?
This just sounds like a fucking Mario world.
Then there's a giant iron dome that is retractable, okay?
Yeah.
To let in light, you know, if you need to. But most of the time it keeps it in perpetual darkness, okay? And then there's another fort around that, and then a perimeter wall around that. Okay?
It's very Beringster. But
But here's the best part. It's built on a cliffside, so you can also just take a boat underneath it and go up a staircase to get underneath. It's very insecure
so
on the waterfront side.
You can just walk in.
Yeah. I'm getting paint up. I'm gonna get paint. Okay. Pubs, can I get a clip? I need to listen back to what I said so I can redraw it.
I need to listen back to what it's.
Well, I described it in great detail. Dead Bones. In great detail was this idea described. Now I need to go back and check my notes.
Oh my god.
What this is gonna look like. I need to build a mountainside. So the mountain cliff will be like this. We're gonna need all this room. And it's gonna be like this. I'm making a staircase. What do you think?
Looks very, very good. Your drawing skills are vastly outpaced mine.
All right, Pubs, you got that clip? Aw, Pubs, you weren't here paying attention? Did anybody get that clip? Dudes!
Don't think anybody got that clip for you, Rob. Rip.
I gave the perfect description of this. It's gonna be too late now. It's gonna be too far back. We have to go look at the VOD.
Well, check the tapes.
Oh man, is the video even up for me to go find the clip?
Oh yeah, Twitch automatically has it going.
Sensen's gonna give me a clip. Okay. I remember there was a cage, there was a dome.
Yep.
There was multiple forts.
There's one at one point there were 2 forts that were connected in the middle.
Okay, don't worry. Zen's got me here. Where's this? Here's the storm music. All right, mute this. Mute. Okay. It's got to be like multiple layers. Like first they made 1 fort, then they put a fort around it, then a fort around it, then 2 forts around those. Okay, I got this.
Do you?
I gotta listen to myself very carefully. Be like multiple layers. Like first they made 1 fort, then fine. First they made 1 fort. Okay, I got this, Dead Bones. First they made a fort.
Yeah.
Okay, there's my fort. Okay, they put a fort around it. Then they put a fort around this one. Okay, gonna get another fort. It'll be a. We got 2 forts. Then a fort around it. Then another fort around this one. This is already quite a big fort, honestly.
It's going to be very large.
Like, this one's even taller than the other one. It goes up. You can't even see into the fort. Even the guard towers. The guard towers are like, why are the guard towers so low? It's because at this point they realized there's going to be another layer, so they were like, let's not bother. Then 2 forts around those that are connected in the middle. 2 forts around this one that are connected in the middle. That's interesting. See, because they knew about that other fort, they would have had to build another fort. I would imagine this one is lower. It realizes it doesn't need to be that high. It's just trying to get around this one. The connecting guard tower, yeah. And then we have the other fort. It's made out of a different block type, you know? Like one's like made out of stone, but the other one's cement.
Yep.
It's two different well, it is 2 different contractors. So I don't even think they look the same at this point.
Yeah.
Like this one's like a little higher. This one's got like a cannon. You know, I don't know what. See, the one on the right is just like not even thinking about it. They're like, this is not enough. And then 1 big fort around it. Then there's a big fort around this one. Okay, man, this joke really had a lot of forts.
Yes, had a lot of forts.
This joke had a lot of forts. Okay, 1 big one. Nice big fort. Okay. We need this pipe going right into the center. There we go. It's very easy to break in from the bottom side. You know, like Bopin, just sailing. It's very easy.
Just
iron
whatever.
Cage. Okay. Then there's an iron cage. Okay, we're at
the
iron cage.
Telling him how to get in. He's like, oh, you just go around the back, Grandpa.
Yeah, his scouts come in and explain what to do, and then the joke is Phineas will just be like, "Well, you could swim in from the underwater condo entrance." They just have like some really low security people just riding in speedboats to get in and out of the city. Oh, the city. It's not even a city. This is just a fort. Okay. Then
I mean, the size of it, it's a fucking city.
Yeah, hold on. This is supposed to be a cage, so let's make sure it kind of looks cage-like. All right. Okay. Around that, then a fort around this. So at this point, you're just like, damn, man. They're really building forts. Like, the budget for this next fort is really crazy. Because it goes around the cage.
Uh-huh.
Then there's 4 separate forts connected
that cliff
with
does not
walls.
look structurally sound.
There's 4 separate forts connected with walls. Well, that's going to be kind of hard to draw here, but we're going to draw 2. So at this point, they must have had multiple contractors doing different architecture and stuff. There's like one over here, completely different color. It's all swirly and stuff. At this point, they're not really building forts to make it stronger. I would assume it's mostly for aesthetics. Okay. This is something. Okay.
This just sounds like a fucking Mario world.
Then there's a giant iron dome. Now there's a giant iron dome. We're gonna run out of land here. They might have to build a land extension. So they probably built some big metal plate like this, and then put some lion's dead bones to suspend it.
Mm-hmm.
That way they could build the iron dome. With the retractable roof. All right. That is retractable, okay? Yeah. To let in light, if you need to. But most of the time it keeps... Please don't say there's another fort, Rob. Okay. And then there's another fort... God damn it! And then a perimeter wall.
Yeah, I don't know how sound this cliff is. I feel like they could just blow up the cliff in that little entrance and it would just collapse into the sea. It's like you put some bombs on those stairs and this whole thing falls into the ocean.
Yeah, it's not... Well, because remember, it made sense when it was a little fort.
Sure.
Right? When it was a little fort, it was fine because it had a secret way in, and then the second fort was like, you're just building it up. It pretty much made sense until after the cage, I think.
Yep.
I think after the cage is when it went downhill.
This is such a waste of taxpayers' money.
Apparently, there's another fort around this, and then a wall. So let's get that fort done. The fort would have been right outside the dome, so it would have been like up here. The dome kind of peeks out a little bit.
Do you not have enough space on your fucking MS Paint or?
Yeah, no, it's like right coming off to the side. And then there's this wall, but the wall, again, more than 5 is a waste. So this last wall is actually quite small. We're gonna use blue bricks for our wall. It's quite just small, and it just goes right through everything else. Kind of like that. We'll just put an arrow to show. Don't actually want to draw through the map, but It's quite an elaborate design for the Beringsters. They're looking to actually expand it by building another fort around it. Everyone kind of thinks that, more than 5 isn't a waste, and that this last little wall is kind of pointless. Yeah. The next wall is so big, I mean, why even build the little wall? But the Beringsters say it's to keep out wildlife. Mm-hmm. So it made sense, I think.
I just want, before we even do a campaign features, I just want a Beringster character arguing about, no, we need funds for this. I need funds for my wall.
It's not their wall, dude. It's their fortress.
Our fortress walls.
Yeah. They're looking to build another fort around this whole thing.
You just have a guy going, it's not structurally sound. It can't hold much more weight than this.
Okay, that's a good point. They probably built a structural beam.
There needs to be a structural beam at some point, Rob.
Yeah, they definitely had to reinforce this. They definitely
Yeah.
put a beam here.
Yeah, because otherwise this thing is just going douche.
But luckily they put a nice doorway in the beam
Oh yeah,
for the boats.
for the boats to come through.
For the boats to go through.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Now you've solved all my problems with this.
Yeah. It's even, and then they do that like nice X formation that beams are in. I don't know why they're like that, but I assume that makes them stronger.
Because it keeps the two main.
Yeah.
It's
There we go.
engineering. It's fine.
Look at that beam. That's gonna keep this up.
I mean, yeah.
Like how they built this little extension. It's just an engineering nightmare.
Yeah.
It's just the worst designers and the worst engineers got together to build a bank. And the thing is, everybody just uses the under entrance.
Yeah. Everyone just comes in via boat.
Everyone goes in here. But it's a secret though. Nobody knows.
Only the barristers know.
Yeah. Only the bear. Oh, it's a Beringster secret.
Secret.
That's the great Beringster secret.
Yep.
Only a Beringster knows how to penetrate the impenetrable fortress. Should that be the name? Because I can't say that.
Fortress.
The impenetrable fortress.
You're gonna have to say that a lot. Do you want it to be something different?
No, I'm okay saying words I can't pronounce.
Okay.
I don't mind looking dumb.
The impenetrable fortress.
I can't even spell impenetrable fortress.
The hard to get into fortress.
Only the hard to get.
So it's just
Okay, wait. What if it's named something dumb, and that was the original name, and now that dumb name no longer makes sense? You know, like if it's the Little Fortress?
Oh, the Little Fortress. The tiny bank of Barringster.
They were planning to make a bigger bank?
Yeah.
See, that's funny if we can come up with a name.
Yeah. Yeah, like
That is, yeah.
Fort Minimus. It's small.
I need to think of the pun. I need to think of the joke.
Silly, funny.
Of what they named it before they bureaucracy built it up too big. Placeholder bank. Unnamed.
Work in progress.
They haven't. What if they've never named it? So it is just the unnamed bank.
Unnamed fortress.
And because they're still debating the name. It's been 3,000 years. They haven't named it.
They've never figured out a name.
They've narrowed it down to a selection of 337 names.
I mean, it's Barringsters, man. Sure, that makes sense. Yeah, they can't name it till they finish building. Well, legally, we can't actually put a name on it till we're done.
They don't name it, because if they name it, that would signify completion of the bank. So in their contract, they've never named it.
They've never named it. Oh no, we're still constructing it. It's not finished yet.
All right, what is the best name for an unnamed building? Working title's pretty good.
Yeah, work in progress, work in title.
Work in progress.
Under construction.
See, because that's actually funny. If that thing was named under construction.
I kind of want it to be named under construction now. Can we name it under construction?
Also, you go underneath it to get in. You go underneath to get in under construction.
Yeah, that's really good. I like it.
That's the way you get in, dude.
Oh, fuck, that's really good. What's that fort's name? Oh, that's just under construction. That's old under construction. Oh. Boy. Oh, you putting in you putting an image link under construction.
How many layered fortresses? 1, 2,
Oh, boy.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The giant 11 layer fortress
11 layer dress
cannot be named
until
as
completed.
until completion. So it is only known as under construction. There is a secret and easy entrance to the fortress under the cliff.
Yeah.
So this is hilarious because if only the Beringsters know about it, then this actually just looks like a menacing fucking fortress.
Yeah. It looks like, oh wow, it's pretty fucking good. It's just doing its job. Well protected.
That's funny, man. Bopin scouts come back and they describe the fortress to him. He's just like, we'll never be able to break into the bank. We'll have to find the goats somewhere else. And fucking Phineas just turns around and is just like, well, you could go underneath it and take the secret entrance. It bypasses all 11 layers of the fort. I even got a key.
Yeah. Yeah.
They even have what's it called? They even have valet for your boat.
Valet for your boat.
They got valet booping. Well, the internet is jiffy. Oh, jeez. Okay, I like that idea. The super fortress.
Yeah.
I need. Where did that thread go? I gotta find it. It's over here. Ah. The chain link mountains, a series of mountains which form a rough helix or chain pattern. It is said that somewhere in this range is treasure place that can break any link or lock. So just a bunch of mountains with chains?
Chain mountain.
Creeping catacombs. These underground graves branch out like a maze under the earth. Well. This is simply looking above the ground. Wells seem harmless, but one sip of water of this well will bring the worst out of anyone. Granny's Grotto. Everyone's welcome to Grandma's house, no matter the race, no matter the background. This kindly old woman is just a kind old grandma. Okay.
It's a nice grandma.
Tower Canyon, a canyon of several hundred guard towers lined along a cliff face. We need to put cannons.
Wait, did you say cannons or canyons?
We need to put cannons.
Cannons?
On this island.
Oh, do you mean for the barracks?
Defend at sea, yeah.
Sure, but that doesn't need to be edited into the image. Just write it that there's cannons.
Giant theater in which the actors are real people who live completely isolated within their own fictional world. When the time comes for performance, actors would take control of the characters' bodies to tell stories within the fictional world.
Oh, get it? Because that's what we do.
Yeah.
It's a meta joke. It's a play within a play within a play. Shakespeare.
Meatland and the Butcher Council. While everyone was in chaos and disarray, there was a group of people who stayed relatively calm. Butchers had already been surrounded by the death of animals. Okay.
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 That makes sense.
This is intriguing. You're right. We did have animals.
Yep.
And they did still cook and eat meat.
Yep. Because we had Binu that were killed and shit too. Meatland. I don't know if we call it Meatland though.
Here's the thread if anyone wants to read it, by the way. Read what I'm looking at right now. This is the thread on the URealms forums on YouTube. Meatland and the Butcher Council. Well, everyone is in chaos and disarray. I'm trying to think of elf butchers.
Elf butchers.
Were there elf butchers?
We had the culinary. We have the culinary, the Venistos. They're like the food people, the culture people. Not just food, but they're the culture that's food and art. They're probably butchers. I mean, we had like dogs and shit, animals. But then again, they didn't need to eat. Why would they have butchers if they didn't need to eat? Can they just magic up food? Didn't they just magic up food?
They would magic, like food would only be for pleasure.
And they just made it with magic.
Yeah, so the only people, so the thing is, you'd have to be this weird person who's going around and killing animals, but people wouldn't really know what killing is. The animals aren't protected, so
and
they
what would
can
make
die.
you? What would make? I mean, I guess you could have that one weird elf that was like, I want to see what this tastes like. Can I eat that? I'm gonna try and eat that. Hunting is a sport, yeah. That that makes sense. Although I don't think the elves were very.
I don't
hunty.
know, and I don't know if just being a butcher would not make you a mind fucked to the whole. Haha! Now you can die.
I mean, if you wanted to have like a single character that's like a serial killer because he used to be a butcher and then it's like, oh, I can do it to people now too. Sure. But I don't know if it's a. Yeah.
They formed a council in Meatland. All right, next one. The Mana Flower Field. An absolute unit of a flower. It seems to grow and develop with the corruption. Like how the sunflower grows closer to the sun, the mana flower grows closer to larger sources of magic. Tubular. Secret Service window cleaner gnomes.
Secret Service window cleaner gnomes.
A gnomish organization based in all major cities, designated to clean the windows of elves within major cities. But how is this landmark, Dart?
That's more of a lore thing.
Dart, you just added lore. I'm not looking for fucking lore, Dart.
It's like a campaign suggestion.
I'm trying to think of what we actually need on the map.
We've got a lot of the what would you call? I would call important things.
Let's think of the trope RPG places you can go.
Yeah. So we've got the big tree.
We got lava we can go to.
Yep. We got the big
ice.
tree.
We got forests.
Mm-hmm.
We got mushroom forests.
We got desert, which is a cool desert.
We got a death desert.
Yep. We got water city. I mean, all we're really missing are flying cities now. Jungles? We don't have many jungles.
Flying city is hard to do because we have to figure out a reason why it's flying.
I know. I just like the trope.
So the only way I can think of a flying city is for us to literally create a demigod that's one of the dragon aspect children that would just have the creation magic power to do it. Which is it feels like a cop-out.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because I kind of always hate in fantasy stuff when there was always just like, and why does this place exist? 'Cause a god made it. It just feels like it's not interconnected with the world. Like that's what I like about the Decay is that it's this weird desert where people come back to life, but then it has the reason why this even exists is because the Decay is just the ash of all the dead elves. I like the interconnection with the world. That's a big part of it for me. Is trying to find all these things and then make them interconnected with the general storyline of the world. And the storyline is people used to be immortal. Then they weren't immortal. Then shit got crazy because everybody started learning magic. That's the gist of it. There was magic before, but it's more so like afterwards, everyone was just like, you know, but before the birth of magic, it's like some people were learning magic. You'd have to practice. It was a skill you acquired. After the birth of magic, it was fucking wild. You could fart magic, Dead Bones. That could just happen to you. You could just be a dwarf minding your own business, like a little poof, little arcane blast comes out of your back pocket there. You're just like, holy smokes, I'm a wizard and I didn't even know it.
Holy smokes, I'm a wizard now. Does that mean I'm a fart wizard though? Is it only fart based?
You're a wizard, Derry.
You're a wizard, Derry.
I tried to Dead Bones your name.
Do we tried to Dead Bones my name? That's okay. Do we have any jungles?
Do we have any jungles?
We don't have any jungles.
Catfight Island is probably a jungle.
Okay. It's like a jungle island then.
Because where did you think the cats were fighting? I would assume a jungle.
Well, now that you've said jungle, I'm thinking jungle.
Yeah, like, well, it's panthers and tigers, right? So they're fighting in a jungle.
Yeah. Okay, so that gives us our jungle looky thingy. What else is like traditional RPG stuff?
Like, I would imagine that the psychic cats, the wowzers, I would imagine that those things have architecture to a certain extent because they can build stuff with their hands. But I think the other panther race, the ones that are still immortal, that were created by Callisto, I think those panthers, they're just gods. So they just live in caves. They're just like little cave panthers.
I like it. What else? Traditional.
Well, you want your flying city? Give me a way to make a city fly.
Oh, give me a way to make a flying city. No,
Chat's trying.
I just like the trope of a flying city. You don't need to. We already have a boat city. I'm good. There's no way to make a flying city that's not. I guess like if it was a ship, also if it was a gnome airship, but I don't know how you make a flying city. That makes sense.
Okay, we could put a flying city above the decay, and it's spirits of the dead holding it up.
Okay.
So we could make it like what are those called? Like a necrophage? What are they?
Like a necropolis?
Are we gonna necropolis?
Is it gonna be like the fucking old WoW necropolis?
You could we could have a necropolis.
I do like necropolises. I wouldn't be opposed to a necropolis in the desert.
What's something we could trap to make us fly?
Trap to make air spirits, the other elementals, obviously.
Air elementals.
Birds. A lot of birds.
We could have a certain on a certain place of the world. There's less gravity.
Okay.
Because we have an egg-shaped planet. Did we ever figure out gravity with our egg-shaped planet?
No.
Did we decide how that was gonna work?
What if it's just Dalaran and it's just a moving city?
That's just Dalaran.
Yeah.
I don't need a Dalaran.
I know. Big flying I do like. Oh, that's actually kind of funny. You know the way you usually have like islands on the back of turtles in the ocean? What if it's just a city on the back of a turtle that flies? It's just a monster. They built a city on its back and it just flies around. Actually, we don't have like a city on the back of something. That's usually a good trope. City on the back of something that's alive. Like an elephant. Or a turtle.
An elephant?
Yeah. What's wrong with an elephant?
The thing is, with things that big, they take up so much space because they have to move around. That's why they're often with things in the sea. They're like turtles and shit.
Oh, but what if it was an elephant that walked in the sea? It's so big, it's just above the ocean. I'm joking. We have so many big things.
Is the gravity weaker at the top of the egg planet?
I don't know how gravity works.
Megan, link me your egg picture planet that you did last week. I need to look at the egg. I should have put that in the dock, actually. I want to give you a floating city, Demos. I'm with you.
You want to give me my floating city?
I'm trying to think of a fun way to do it.
It's a bunch of balloons.
It's so big. I need a smaller planet. There we go.
I need a smaller planet.
Like, if there's a circle amount of gravity and it's near the bottom of the egg, does that mean at the top of the egg, it's like...
Well, the top of the egg is where Yavender is.
Yeah, I know. Is there less gravity there?
I don't know. How does gravity work?
Does gravity make things colder and warmer too? Does gravity mess with our temperature?
I don't think gravity affects heat.
Because then we could tie that into our bullshit reason why she picked up there.
I don't think gravity affects temperature.
No, but I could say it and upset everybody.
You could.
Yeah.
Make everyone real mad.
I could make that lore bad science.
That's
how the Beanie figured it out, man. They were
this doesn't make any sense.
This doesn't make any sense.
What if the city's going around the egg because of gravity? No. I don't know. I don't know if we
what? Like the city is in the gravitational pull outside of the planet. Well, how does the city have its own atmosphere?
No.
So there's no air in this city of yours?
Look, I'm just trying to figure out how to make the city fly, Rob. I don't know what
I'm just asking the questions. I gotta ask the hard questions, man.
Maybe you know what? Maybe there is no air up there. Maybe it's all LMX. It's a robot city where people don't breathe.
That would be interesting. That's actually interesting. If it is a space station, and there's the only thing there is LMX, and all the LMX are there because the Binu told them just to go there and wait.
They were doing research.
No, LMX don't. No.
No?
I think they're more robotic because they're housed by spirits.
Oh, how's it? More robotic makes them less likely to do research?
Well, so I think we can have some that are like personalities.
Sure.
But I don't think any can have like free will.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think the idea is they don't have a personality. They're like spirits inside of machines, right? So the spirit is basically just power, is a fuel source. That's all it really is.
Fuel source for the programming.
Yeah. It sounds more magical and the spirit's fusing with machine, but nah, it's just it's its fuel source. And I think the LMX probably would die out because I think they probably consume the spirit over time, but probably over an extended period of time, like thousands of years. So some might be burned out, but not all of them. So, what if it...
Yeah, come on.
So we have a robot city.
Sure.
What do we call it? It has to have a fantasy name that doesn't sound like a robot city.
We have to give it a fantasy name that doesn't sound like a robot city. So
who named it?
The gnomes? No, the Binu, because they were made by the Binu, right?
Yeah, but nobody remembers that name.
Oh, right.
That's the Binu name. The Binu name's not important.
But then wait, so the Binus were the only ones that probably would have been able to get to it because wings.
Nobody goes to it.
Yeah. So that means that no one's ever.
Shit! Wait.
No one's ever been
That's
there. So
right.
they don't know
The Binu can fly. I always
Yeah.
forget that the Binu can fly.
Yeah.
However,
They're dead, but that doesn't. So no. But the thing is, right? You said that their name is forgotten, which means that no one's been there in a long fucking time. Which means that they just see this thing that floats in the sky and are just like, I don't know what it is.
yeah,
How
a
do
thing
you
that
name
looks
that?
mechanical. Yeah, a thing that just looks like a giant, like essentially Borg cube in the sky.
Yeah. What the fuck?
That's still making sounds like.
Oh, I feel really bad for any city that's on like the part where the cheese wheel is, and then this passes overhead, and it's just.
Dude, it would be lit up too.
Oh yeah, lights. Glowing. I don't know what the fuck you call it though.
I'm gonna guess that they used to produce an atmosphere on it. And like, wait, you can't fly. The bees can't fly from space to the space station. We can't have it so. How did the bee get there? Oh, they just flew out of the atmosphere. They flew out of the atmosphere.
They just flew
to the space station.
It's a low-flying space station.
We argue about the logic of so many things, and then we're almost about to allow the fucking Binu flying out of the atmosphere.
We've got a giant fucking cheese wheel that rolls around the egg. I don't know what the fuck you're giving out about Binu being
Okay, I think it's in the atmosphere. I think the reason why it's got to be floating, and the reason why it's floating is it's a ship.
Yeah, it's a boat. It's an airship. It's just a
I
really
like
big
the
airship.
idea of a big mechanical ship.
Is it a cube? Because I like the idea of it being a Borg cube.
Why did they build it?
Mobile base.
It's a mobile repair facility for the temple things.
Yeah, for the temples. So, like, because they need to be able to get around, and we don't have teleportation magic, so.
So they built what like the equivalent of the Marvel sky thing.
Yeah,
their sky boat,
shield battleship, whatever it's called again.
What did they have a cool name for that?
There is a name for it.
Wasn't that cool? Because I don't remember, dude.
The name for it.
How do you build a big cool airship and not have me remember the name? They fucked up. Let's be honest. You guys are googling it. The helicarrier.
Helicarrier, that's right.
Nobody
remembers.
It's
a carrier that's helicopter. Yep.
It's hella lame.
Shield helicarrier. Not a great name.
Why would the Binu build a giant machine ship to store? Is this the thing they used to build them so they would fly it out to construction sites?
Oh, this is their construction crew.
Yeah.
It could be.
You know, making something that flies is a lot more effort than just, driving it over there.
Yep.
I need a better practical reason why they would have built a giant machine city.
Why did they build a giant machine city?
They're not a warring faction.
No.
They would have never had to build a war machine.
Maybe it's where they tested all of their tech and they needed somewhere that wasn't going to fuck shit up. So they made a little testing base that flies. I love that. It's nice and half-hearted. Maybe we just don't have a flying city. It's okay. Every city in Dead Realms flies. It's all right. I get my flying cities elsewhere.
Dude, it's so hard to make a flying city unless you just don't come up with any lore. Like, think about it. In fucking Sonic the Hedgehog, Emerald Island only floats because of a magical fucking emerald.
Yeah.
If you remove the emerald, the city crashes.
Yo, okay, what if there's a magical emerald on the ship? It's keeping it afloat.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Nah, dude, it's okay, Nick. We can avoid the copyright. We won't call it Emerald Island. It'll be Ruby Island.
Ruby Island. The Chaos Ruby. The Order Ruby. The Order Ruby.
The native animals? Hedgehogs. Did you spill your drink?
No, that caught me off guard. Oh shit.
I want to give you a flying city. I want to put it on the map. I just want that good reason to be like, and the flying city has a cool reason of how it became flying.
It's a city on the back of a giant bird.
Because if I can't think of a cool reason to make a flying city, then can't have a flying city. Because it would just be kind of pointless.
Cool reason to have a flying city. Come on, yeah, chat. Give us a reason to put it in the sky.
What is this, Rorman? All right.
Oh, gravity?
Giving me gravity math.
I love it.
Okay. So low gravity. Oh, look at this. So wait, do the elves live on the south side or the north side?
North side, because that's where because they have to fight off the frost.
Is the frost on the bottom side or the top?
I always well I assumed it was the top.
Now we have to decide based on gravity. He's got a suggestion. What is this sneaky shit, Demos? He's got a suggestion for the city. He's like, well, since I'm doing the math, I'm gonna make sure you fuckers read my idea. Well played, Rorman.
I love it.
Well played.
So yeah, maybe we've changed all this up, and Yavender's at the south, and all the nerds, all the elves are at the south. And then the flying city is just where the low gravity is at the top of the egg.
Exactly.
Exactly.
If we move the North Pole to the South Pole.
Yep.
The city can be at the top of the low gravity, and maybe it can just be like there's a weird part at the very top pinnacle of the world where it's that point where the city is basically always just floating up and down.
Yeah.
And the reason why it never comes all the way down is simply like a gust of wind. There's some geysers underneath.
Ooh, I like geysers.
That bounce it up and down. That just keeps it nice and level.
Wait,
it's a natural phenomenon.
Well, now I'm wondering whose city it is.
Well, here's the problem. What side, again, are all the elves on? Because
South,
we have to think of...
they're near
exactly.
because we have that.
So... that means it's not elf or dwarf, or it has to be some other race we haven't really seen a lot.
No.
Because we haven't got... This will be the furthest point you could possibly go, because it's on the other side of the cheese wheel.
Is it a Binu city?
No. Because this natural... When does natural phenomenon occur? It could be the beanies. No. When did the cheese... Was the cheese wheel before the birth of magic? When did the cheese wheel happen?
We didn't decide who made the cheese wheel yet.
I think we did.
Was it?
I think it was before the birth of magic, and it was like the gods wanted to summon a big piece of cheese to eat, and it just started rolling.
So the cheese was before the birth of magic.
So... Because, I mean, we do have the history before, like, the dragons even existed, and that's, like, the Binu lived on the world, and it was a dead world, and they lived underground because, unfortunately, global warming killed their planet.
Yep.
So there was very few of them left, and they lived under there, and dragon god people came and decided, hey, a dead world, we're going to set up shop here and give it life, and they were just like, holy shit! We've been living in caves for fucking a century.
It's only just dawned on me that the native people of our world are birds, and it's shaped like a fucking egg.
I know. It's quite funny. Anyway.
Sorry.
Cheese goes great with eggs, too. If you just took our whole planet and you put it in a frying pan, man.
Our world is a good
It'd be delicious. It's a great breakfast, man.
Okay, whose city it be? It could be a gnome city. I mean, gnomes are everywhere. Gnomes are a good, easy excuse for
We
things.
could make it the gnome city.
Oh, it could be the gnome city. That's not the Nisavin city.
Yeah. Because the Nisavin city has to be on the south side.
Yeah, yeah. South side. Yeah, I think the gnome city's fine.
That can't be Okanoma. Okanoma has to be south side. Basically, most of the URealm campaigns we do have to be south side because you have to remember how big a deal it is to cross the cheese wheel.
Yeah.
The cheese goes around the planet once a day, and it's so massive that if you're in the way, you just get crushed, I guess. Although I would imagine you could probably do like an underground bunker to survive.
Oh yeah, you could like dig.
There's probably checkpoints.
Yeah,
Which
borders.
means we could make, if we made checkpoints, we could make the cheese bigger.
No, Rob, please don't make the cheese bigger. It's already so fucking huge.
So the concept of trying to go from one side of the planet to the other side of the planet and getting past that cheese wheel is a big deal because we don't have portals in our universe, and it takes about a day to it takes a day to get over the ridge of the cheese wheel. It's 10 kilometers. I mean, you can do less than 10 kilometers in a day, but doing 10 kilometers in a day is still pretty tough, especially if you're trying to travel with things, which I imagine lots of people would be. Merchants and stuff, trying to get stuff from one side to the other. It's dangerous business. A lot of people get cheesed.
They get cheesed.
They get cheesed, man. If you're not careful, you might get cheesed yourself.
Oh boy.
I love that because to the characters it would have such a fucking more terrible.
Yeah, more dreaded meaning of he got cheesed. Shit.
I lost my granny to the cheese.
What happened to Duncan? I got cheesed.
But they also love the cheese because they get so much business from the cheese.
Yeah, it's a tourist attraction.
Also, the north side and the south side, they both like to compete on who has the best cheese.
Oh, it's the same.
But it's the cheese. Yeah, but they have a yearly get together, you know, where sometimes it's on the north, sometimes it's the south, where they have a cheese test to see who will wins.
It's the same cheese.
Every year it's back to back. Sometimes the north wins, sometimes the south wins. And no, it's not Dead Bones because of the wind and the general location adds different flavor to the cheese.
To the magic cheese.
On the north side of the cheese, there's actually a nearby salt lake that adds a nice saltiness to the cheese that is grated on the north town graters.
Also, the shit that it picks up would definitely add to the flavor.
Yes, yeah.
All those dead bodies that get crushed on its way.
On the south side of the cheese. Well, that's fine because that's in the middle of the cheese. Nobody grates that.
Nobody grates the middle of the cheese.
That's
what
illegal.
about all the birds that fly into it?
What do you mean?
Well, you know, it's rolling past.
It's the size of a mountain. Birds. What do you mean rolling past?
You know, birds
aren't flying. Birds aren't flying. They might get crushed like anyone else. You know.
I guess. I'm trying to think of anything that would hit into the side of it to pollute the tastes.
I can't wait to have a campaign where you guys like fight the cheese wheel.
Fight the cheese wheel? Why would we fight it?
Because you didn't make it. So the cheese wheel is coming, and so I just say your only chase now is to try to fight it. Is to try to stop it.
Oh, that's a big in game.
It's just like it's just like five turn combat. On the fifth turn, you all get crushed and die. You just run out of battlefield.
Until we get a legendary spell.
The cheese is yes, exactly, and then you've destroyed the cheese. Yeah,
and we've destroyed the economy.
Yeah. Dude, what, you think a race could destroy the cheese wheel? No.
Yeah, it's a legendary spell.
No, it would just erase like a big chunk of it for you all to just hide in as it goes by, and the cheese wheel would have like a little cut in. It's not wide enough. It would just you'd make a hole through the cheese, dude.
Okay. Amp version.
What's that? That would just be a beam.
Big laser beam.
Yeah, that wouldn't do enough to the cheese.
Signios. 20.
Well, it just depends on the spell.
Signius 20 levitate. Make the cheese go fly
You
away.
could make you would probably actually, you know what would happen? You would cause the cheese wheel to like levitate, but it would like veer off course, and then it would just fall over, and it would so the cheese wheel would
It
stop.
just crushes like a whole portion.
Oh, dude, you'd kill hundreds of innocents as you would just crush a forest.
And also
You
the
and the team would live. Well, no, I would imagine that the citizens would get together and try to put the cheese wheel back in the ridge.
Yeah, you think they'd
to
want to put
restore
it back.
to restore the natural world order.
That's there you go. That's a second campaign. Trying to get the cheese wheel back into place to roll again.
That's where like the old god character just shows up and just does it for everyone, and everyone cheers.
Yeah. So fucking dumb.
We already know that the cheese regrows.
Yeah.
So like it's like an infinite cheese. No, is it an infinite cheese, or is it just so much cheese that they can just keep grating sides of it and just?
It's got to be. It's got to regrow. Otherwise, that's a nasty cheese. It's getting wet and gross.
Yeah, it is
dirty.
magical cheese that regrows.
It has to be magical cheese.
It's conjured cheese that would regrow it because it was a prank. They played a prank on somebody who said he could eat the world's biggest cheese, and they made a cheese that keeps regrowing. So he got bamboozled, you know.
Bamboozled.
But then the prank went awry when the cheese wheel, you know, just started rolling downhill, and then they just left it, and it created the groove, and then people lived around it. How fast does it grow back, dude? Why do I have to create this lore? I don't know. That's lore you decide on the fly.
That's you wait for Roman to ask that question mid-campaign.
It grows back only when one is not looking, so it is theoretically possible to eat all cheese if you don't blink. Okay. So, a floating city.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some geysers are keeping up top.
Yep, it's pushing it up. Probably
So,
no.
would this city exist before the dragons even landed?
Oh, is it like the remnants of
Because
before
if this
the world
existed,
was shit?
if this existed in our world, it would be like the Holy Land. Like
Yeah.
every human would be like, "Oh my God, that's the greatest city ever!" Because it's a fucking floating city.
It's the pilgrimage.
Especially if you're
land.
bird people and you fly up there. I would imagine this is a derelict city. It was derelict when the world was destroyed, but then it was rebrought. Like
by
it was
gnomes.
No, not even gnomes. By the Binu when they
Oh.
were allowed to come out from.
Oh, when the world was fixed, they went back to
when
it.
the world was fixed, the dragons show up.
Okay, yeah.
The Binu would have been there.
Yeah,
so
It's like their old capital from when the world wasn't fucked.
exactly, it's so they would have brought their capital back. Then they would have died out. So
Then
you
they
know
died
that.
out again.
So that's interesting. That wants me to put Ninjaru on the north side of the egg.
Oh.
Because the facilities where you would make dragon silver would probably want to be where the Binu cities are.
Ninjaru could be on the north side of the egg.
So Ninjaru probably should be on the north side because it should be
doesn't-
close to the Binu city.
that doesn't fuck up a lot of things. Quintara's
No,
powerful.
it doesn't.
She's got travel.
Quintara is powerful.
Yeah. She can
Um,
traverse the cheese.
we have to think of every time we've been to Ninjaru and all the characters that have been there.
We've only
right?
been to Ninjaru twice.
don't-
The only
we don't
thing
think
is
there right
the
now.
the fighting power tournament. That's the only thing. But that could have been that's, you know.
The Fighting Power tournament was on Ninjaru because it was like an island, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we can imagine that Quintara probably has some form of portal
Yeah.
for Ninjaru because of how deep her relationship is with.
Quintara,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So if we need to, that can be that one time we're like, there's a portal to travel across the world to their city because
Sure.
it's just because it's a Quintara thing.
It fits with Lin and Quintara's thing. If anyone has a portal, it's Lin.
If we need to do that, if there became a reason that we couldn't deal with the travel time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a derelict Binu city, and then it was rebrought back,
And now
and
it's a
now
derelict Venus
it's
city.
derelict again. So who would move in?
Porks, kobolds, gnomes, any of the beast races.
They're all mostly on the south side, though.
It's true. The
Like-
Thorn don't give a shit. They don't care about cities.
Thorn don't care.
The gnolls are living in their fucking waters. Turtles wouldn't care about it. Not
But
turtles,
somebody would
shell
take
mines.
this city. It's just too grand. Oh. If it's flying and the bird and the Binu did fly to it and back, there could just be no transportation.
So like no one's there.
There's no convenient way to get to there.
So they're still trying to get to it.
So nobody really lives there. It's just only adventurers go there.
It's
so
like an ancient ruins kind of thing.
yeah, there'd probably just be wild animals. I think it is derelict.
Yeah, it's ruins. It's cool floating ruins.
Do we chain the planet?
Do we chain it?
Do we put a chain on it? That it
I
connects
do
to
like the
ground?
aesthetic
Do you
of it
like-
having a chain.
Yeah, because the chain allows adventurers to
And
climb
yeah, you
up
can
it.
climb the chain. That's yeah. I like it being chained to it.
I like that idea, Roman. The chain,
Yeah.
because that allows for when you're trying to do like a role play campaign. How do adventurers get up? You climb the chain.
You climb the chain.
And it's a battle. And then you get up there, and it's a bunch of flying things that live up there.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of flying creatures.
Old
But I
Binu
think
tech.
it's probably a derelict city. So it'd be a derelict, a rundown, steampunky bird city.
Yeah, steampunk bird city.
How do the dragons fly around this planet?
What do you mean?
It's not circular.
The sun and moon?
Yeah.
They just go that's like the same way you would on Earth. They're dragons. They don't have to listen to gravity. They fly wherever the fuck they want. Right? I mean,
Characters have like some short range teleport, like blinks, but they don't have long range teleports.
Nissan had that teleport that got us out of
No, Nisivin activated the circle on the ground.
That's
that was Quintara
right.
Lotus's
That
circle.
was Quintara Lotus's circle.
Nisivin
you think of
activated.
everything.
Nisivin activated a portal on the ground to get somewhere.
Oh.
So, because I believe Nisivin also has a Quintara portal, and I think her portals are as simple as they're just all connected.
It's fast travel.
You got one portal, you go to her other one. She just has fast travel.
Just gotta know where the portal is.
Quintara can just teleport anywhere, though. We've seen her do that.
She just does it.
When she saved you from a kiss.
Yeah, Johan did it when she just appeared in the fucking city from Sambolds. It's Quintara. She goes where she wants.
The portals don't stay open forever. They're only open for a few moments, and that's because I don't want her creating portals that are used for fast travel. Because the elves would ask that. Like, if the dragon could create a portal that lasts forever, the elves would be like, "Hey, we need a new highway. Could you make a portal from here to the beach?" You know, that's what would happen with portals.
Yep.
I'm surprised in like World of Warcraft, there's not more portals.
There's portals
Like-
in World of Warcraft.
Yeah, but I'm surprised they're just not everywhere.
Oh.
Like, they do so much walking. Like, you'll be like, "Look, we're going to escort this caravan across the country." You're like, just take a fucking portal, dude.
Magic's expensive.
Yeah, okay.
It's money-based,
not,
man.
though, because they have the price of that stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just, it's big magic keeping little people down. Corporate magic just doesn't want to give us the portals for their fast travel.
Yeah, you don't want to have portals in your world, because fast travel is great for video games, but for roleplay fantasies, it kind of ruins the things. That was like one of my big problems with the most recent Game of Thrones series, is how fast they navigate the world. Like, they kind of disrespect traveling.
Did they? Which one specifically? Like they.
Every episode, they'll have characters that are just on one side of the world at the start of the episode, and the other side of the world on the other side of the episode. And I can kind of excuse the whole flying on dragon time, but I forget who did it.
Also, they don't really do
everybody crossing the wall back and forth was traveling like great distances, just too fast.
I guess. Yeah, maybe. I never really thought about it. I always just assumed they just didn't tell us how long it was.
Yeah.
The assumption of time.
Okay.
All right, flying city, derelict flying city.
A derelict flying city. Does it have a name?
Probably should. But again, the Binu are dead, so it would be, it wouldn't have a name properly.
So it has two names. We kind of need to know both names.
Yeah, we gotta have a Binu name and
the Binu name.
The new name.
Natural phenomenon.
Phenomenon. Phenomenon.
That looked pretty close.
Phenomenon.
Used to be a Binu city.
Skyjet.
And is now a derelict city. Sky Egyptians.
No, it's not Skyjet.
And is now a derelict city that adventurers travel to. The Binu would fly to it. So for most adventurers, the only way into the city is climbing the how high is this city?
How high is it?
How high do you have to put a city in the sky before you're like, that's good?
It's gotta be a good few hundred feet, like it's like 2,000 feet. I don't know. What level? How high do planes go? Where planes go? That's where.
Is it above the clouds? Is this Moonwell Pass?
Ooh, no, Moonwell Pass is on a mountain, isn't it?
I mean, this is.
It could be Moonwell Pass. If you want to make this Moonwell Pass, I'm fine.
Fucking flying. I was gonna put it on the mountain because it made more sense. Because I was gonna put it on a mountain because city in the sky. I need to know why that city's floating.
Well, now you know. All
right,
yeah,
if it's above the clouds.
All right.
Climbing the chain. The city rests just above the clouds because of the low gravity on this side of the planet and the strong
geysers.
Oh,
That makes climbing the chain dangerous, by the way. You don't know if the
geysers.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, they're constantly going off. Dude, how do you spell geysers?
Oh, G-E-Y something.
Geysers?
There's a Y, I think.
Geezers.
Geezers.
Strong geezers.
Strong geezers is old people? That's not how you spell geyser.
Yeah, it's good enough.
It's geezers.
Keep the planet
There's a bunch of old strong men throwing it up.
Climbing the chain is very dangerous as the geysers are constantly blasting you.
I like that you spelled it right that time.
Water. Oh my god, I did that naturally too! I didn't even think about it!
You just wrote it right!
Dude, I didn't even think about it the second time!
How does your fucking brain work? Holy shit!
Holy shit! I don't understand how my brain works either! That's so weird.
That's so fucking weird.
I didn't even spell check it, so I didn't. Okay.
You were just using it automatically.
This is distracting me. Climbing the chain is very dangerous as the geysers are constantly blasting you with hot water. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. You want to call it Moonwell Pass?
The city is. The city's original name is long gone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to come up with it. But the gnomes now called it Moonwell Pass.
Ooh.
Hot water. This water has poisonous chemicals. Chemicals.
Oh, it's like toxic.
that
Okay.
cause many to become blind.
URealms reference. I like that.
Yeah, so side effects, some people eventually develop blindness
Because of the water.
the long exposure to the geysers.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible.
It's very bad. All right, we got our flying city.
Okay. What other tropes?
Jungle, flying city, desert, forest, cold place.
Fantasy world tropes, guys. Chat.
We
What
have
are
our
we missing?
water
An
city.
underground city. We have that with goblins.
Yeah,
They have an underground city.
they have an underground city. Swamp? We don't have any swamps. Like, no great swamps.
A giant swamp.
Giant swamps.
Do we have a swamp?
I don't think so. At least I can't think of any that come to mind.
I think we can have swamps. Do we need a special swamp?
I don't think we need a special one. I think if we just have a campaign set in a swamp, we have a campaign set in a swamp.
We got a shadow realm.
We have
a city behind a giant waterfall. That's something we could do. I don't think it has to be like a.
That's not a landmark.
Giant
That's just a city that's behind a waterfall.
Yeah.
Oh, the nomadic peoples. That's the foreign. We have a giant tree. We have a big tree that's Yggdrasil.
We have a Yggdrasil. Yep.
Yeah, we have a big tree.
The Grand Paladin Order is kind of a cathedral or holy grounds.
A city of gold. We do not have a
City
city of gold.
of gold.
It's really not. It's not really a fantasy trope, but it is a. I mean, we have Midas. There's probably a city with Midas because we have a Midas character. Remember? So.
Didn't I come up with this lore?
Yeah, he turned himself to gold.
Ah, yes. That was the first thing he did.
Yep.
So the story of have you ever heard the story of King Midas? He touched himself, turned himself to gold.
Yeah,
It has a different connotation in URealms. Normally, people in our world tell it, it's about this, greed.
Mm-hmm.
In URealms, it's about not touching yourself with magic.
We have volcanoes. We have like Volrunga's volcanoes and stuff. We have like a major volcano, but
Yeah, Bopin can make a city of all gold. That's his plan.
Yeah.
Or the Beringsters.
or the Barracks.
maybe one of the forts is made out of gold.
The forts is definitely made out of gold.
They remade the original fort.
They used the funds for one fort to build a fort out of the funds.
Well, I bet like after like the 7th fort, they did a they got the funds to remake the first fort. Remade it in gold.
We made it in gold.
That's why the next fort was only made with cage, because they double upped on the funding.
Right.
They were like, now we're making a cage. It's cheap.
Lighthouse. Yeah, lighthouses aren't that big.
Yeah, we don't need a giant.
No, lighthouses
Candyland. Hold on.
Okay.
Candyland.
Okay.
A candy land.
Right. How you want to rationalize a candy land?
That's the thing. If we can rationalize how a candy land came to be, we can have it.
Okay.
This is hard.
If a candy land existed, who would live there and why? Because first you want to have the reason of like why it exists, but you also want like who the fuck lives there or what the fuck lives there. It's Candy Dragon.
Candy dragon.
There's no candy dragons, and there's no clowns. Clowns is a Dead Realms thing.
I think nobody lives there.
Nobody lives there. It's like the fucking wastes, but it's candy.
No, I think if you stay too long in the candy land, you become candy.
But like,
so it's actually it's a graveyard world where walking through it, you eventually just morph into candy and you can't move.
So are there just a bunch of fucking statues of adventurers? That
No, because they actually turn into other candy props of the candy world.
Oh.
It's like a cursed land.
That's fucked up.
I know. It looks amazing, but nobody goes there.
Why does it exist?
Well, I think it's a curse.
A curse by...
We're working on it, buddy. We're working on it.
Candyland.
I like that. Boo's Candyland. I want to use that as just... I want to look at that.
You want it to be Boo?
No, remember Boo's Candyland? That stage from like... No, not Boo. Oh, it's from one of the DBZ movies. Where they're
Oh,
in that, like-
Janemba's can like the
Janemba.
when he turns the place into fucking jelly beans and shit.
Janemba Candyland. I want to see that.
Yeah, he makes it all fucking jelly beans. That's pretty cool.
I love that world.
That's really cool aesthetically.
It's a shame it didn't make sense in the context of the world, because then it would have been amazing.
I mean, it makes sense that Janemba was like a big baby that turned everything into fucking jelly beans. Man, it says a lot that you thought Boo and then it was Janemba. It's like, yeah, it's basically the same fucking character. It's the exact same fucking thing.
Okay.
Who cursed this land to be candy, Rob?
Cursed land that was Candyland. Maybe it's a growing plague, and it started small, and now it's just out of control, and nobody's dealing with it.
Okay, but
we have a lot. We have a lot of these. I think this is just a product of our time, because I'm noticing I keep making these world-destroying epidemics for the entire planet that will grow out of control unless somebody deals with it, and nobody's dealing with it.
If we have no one deal with all these global epidemics, it's gonna freeze over, it's gonna turn to candy, it's gonna be cut in half by a sword, the slime's gonna eat everything.
So this side of the planet is freezing.
Yeah, that side is turned to candy.
This side's turned into candy. Is a giant sword that's just gonna cut the whole planet open.
Yeah.
The cheese wheels could go off course at any minute and just roll through cities.
Yep. Fucking this world is fucked.
We need to stop Big Candy.
Stop Big Candy.
So it's the kind of thing where if you walk in the world, eventually you just can't, you stop moving. Like it saps your energy to the point where you just have to lay down and fall asleep. And once you do that,
I do like a candy swamp.
It is kind of a candy swamp, because once you lay down, you literally just turn into candy. And then your essence becomes candy plants, which are in the shape of colorful candy canes and lollipops.
Okay. So it's kind of like a living plant organism kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's candy. I like. Okay.
Is it a sentient thing?
Is this like a fucking? Is this like a?
Is this a candy dragon?
But it's not actually a dragon.
It's not actually a dragon.
Is it? Oh, okay. Okay, wait. There used to be dragons here before the dragons, right?
No.
The current dragons.
The
Someone
dragons of
world.
the Binu world?
Yeah. Someone had to make it.
In URealms lore, yeah, the Binu would have had their dragons.
So maybe it's the leftover thing from then?
But if their dragons, if their dragons died,
or left,
then wouldn't we have another moon in the sky?
Well, I don't know if they died. Maybe they just left.
Like left the Binu?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Those are some bad dragons, man.
Yeah, but dude, if that ends up being the lore, then what if he came back?
What if they came back? Dude! Okay.
Then you got a sun dragon guy that's coming back. Maybe he feels bad. He's coming to check on his creatures.
I don't know how that goes down.
They've all been wiped out by the elves.
Like a second. Could you imagine just a second sun just showing up?
Because he would be like the god form of the Binu. So when he takes his avatar, he would be.
He's just a big beard. He's like, "Where are my people? Oh, we killed them all. What?" Okay.
Yikes.
Yikes. Okay, I don't know how this fits into the cheat candy thing though. You want to figure out making your candies at swamp. I kind of like it being like this weird plague thing. Yeah.
I like it being a plague because if it's a creature, I have to figure out where the creature came from.
Yeah, if it's just like a plague, if it's like a just.
If it's a plague, then it's a spell gone wrong.
Yeah.
And it's we should have it be like the cheese wheel. Because we should have, because the thing is, a lot of these big epidemics, like the Greater Sword splitting the planet, they should be from a time when the elves were very careless, you know?
So there were some elf kids who wanted a candy tree or something.
Yeah, they took the world for advantage. You know, they took it for granted.
A parent told an elf child candy doesn't grow on trees, so he tried to make a candy tree. It fucked up real bad.
Yeah. Elves before the birth of magic Baby boomers.
Yep.
That's what we're going with. Okay, so they did so. So we could just see the same story that they accidentally just left this problem and they dealt with it.
I think
Maybe
accidentally,
it was something
because it
small.
probably wasn't a problem when they did it. It's like, this is whatever. Because no one knows that you die and turn to candy there. Because you go there and you don't come back. They just assume, they're going to live in the candy place.
So is it just as simple as it's just the swamp just absorbs like organic life and turns it into candy to make
Fuels
itself bigger?
Is it expanding or is it like the creep in Zerg? Is it Zerg?
It is the creep in Zerg.
Okay. So it's like candy creep.
But it can only grow if it absorbs.
Yeah.
So
It has to have people.
Yeah, it's not like it's a real problem unless people just, start walking into it.
Which is why it has to be on the north side, because the people up there would be less likely to go
Oh,
there.
I like that in chat. What if there was just like a candy tree, but then it became mutated by the birth of magic?
There you go. Beautiful. So there's like a big candy tree in the center of it.
A candy tree
That turns
was made.
candies.
Who died because of the candy tree mutating?
Who died because of the candy tree mutating?
The candy tree was made by the dragon aspects
Sure.
for blank. But after the birth of magic, it became a cursed swamp that consumes all living matter
To grow.
to grow more candy world.
Fucking candy world.
Shit, man, this is hard to describe.
Can't wait till the next lore stream so
Try
this
this
gets cut.
again later, Rob. What? this one might stay. You don't know.
This one might stay if you can figure out good reasons for it.
Yeah, candy tree is close.
There is an idea there. I will give you that. We've got a lot of things that are fucking up the world. Egg, cheese, and candy tree. Candy doesn't go with eggs. I guess syrup does. Is syrup candy?
What about the eggs you get at Easter that are
candy
like
eggs?
candy? The
Chocolate
candy
eggs?
This the chocolate ones?
Yeah,
or
but
the
they
ones
don't
that
go
have,
with
like,
they don't
the
go with
yolks in it?
cheese.
I mean, they might. You don't know.
No. You could go with syrup. Syrup's kind of like candy. You can put syrup on eggs.
I love candy creep.
Candy creep.
That is great, by the way.
Candy creep's pretty good.
Candy creep. I'm gonna just write down the term
Candy creep.
Candy creep.
Candy creep's good.
I love it because it's the type of thing that if you tell your adventuring party before them stands a land of candy and they start adventuring in it, they don't find anyone or see anything. It's a ghost land. There's no
candy.
life of any kind. And then one by one, you just start fucking with them. And then you're just like, yeah, your left finger turns to marshmallow.
Yeah.
Then after a while, you're just like, James slowly realizes that he's actually becoming candy.
And he tries to get out.
But what created the candy land? That's the problem.
One of Quintara's kids.
I mean, that's the easy answer.
Well, we give a lot of things to Thor. We don't give a lot of things to the others. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, we could just leave it on the table and just be like, who needs something?
Yeah, who would
This
make
is-
the candy?
This is what you get. You are the candy king.
You're the candy king.
Here's what I want to know.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do when you accidentally make candy that consumes all living life to grow endlessly?
You're
That
trying to make
becomes a
infinite
problem.
candy.
So you're trying to make infinite candy.
Yeah. Like a never-ending candy pool or some bullshit.
So somebody invents a way to turn something into candy.
It's like, well, I just want candy all the time. Well, if you feed this thing, if you put this here, it'll turn into candy. Just like bring your food here, leave it here, and it'll turn into candy. Just happen to work on people too.
The thing is, the candy itself also turns things into candy.
It's true.
So it's like he made candy that turns like it's Grey Goo candy. Yes.
Grey Goo candy. Yeah.
So if you like, why would anyone ever make Grey Goo candy?
I don't know, man. Why would anyone ever make a fucking sword that cuts the world in half?
That was somebody was trying to cast an enlarged
It's
spell
the
on
mistakes
a sword.
of man and humans,
and it's just still growing. That was an accident.
All I know
That has a great story,
wait, are you
Deadbolts.
saying that the candy tree, the candy swamp, whatever, the candy Grey Goo isn't an accident?
No, it probably is.
It's probably an accident, right?
It might have been an accident.
By who? Who would want to?
Or it
turn-
was a weapon of mass destruction.
It could have been a weapon.
No one suspected. Would you suspect it?
No.
Like if you looked outside right now and half your city was candy, would you be worried?
Yes. I mean, there's no other answer for that. Would you not?
Okay, let me put it differently to you.
Sure.
If you went downtown your city and a block of the city was just all candy, would you be curious enough to maybe go check out the candy city?
It's still worrying.
Could you see yourself walking into or standing on the candy sidewalk?
I will give you how about there's a
Because
park.
if you could, you're fucked. You've
there's
become
a,
candy.
There's a park in your city at that one day. It's just candy. Then I'm more likely to go, oh, it's a candy park. It's probably like a movie stunt, and then you go into it rather than a fucking block.
Yeah. So this could be a weapon.
Yeah, it could be a weapon.
Somebody made this.
Who made a weapon that was this fucking... Who and why? That's what I want to know, just who and why.
Because maybe that means it's post-birth of magic.
Okay, it could be post-birth of magic. But who made it?
That's a good question.
And for what purpose?
Well, we have to figure out who died and became candy.
Who died and became candy?
There's another question here. Who died to become the candy forest?
This is how we tie URealms into Adventure Time, you guys. URealms is actually Adventure Time worlds.
You do that campaign where everybody goes and explores the candy world, but in Act 5 they just all slowly become candy and die.
And just die.
And then you just reveal you're actually in the candy swamp. You were dead the second you came in here, Act 1.
Yeah, there's no getting out. Okay, yeah, it could have been a witch that did it. But I don't know why she did it. Or he did it. Why candy? Who made the candy?
Hansel and Gretel.
We could have had a couple called Hansel and Gretel that loved
It
candy.
makes
a
less
lot.
sense. The witch made it. The witch kept feeding them candy, but they kept eating it. So the witch gave them candy that ate them.
The witch gave them candy that ate them. Oh, I mean, they are public domain. We could totally use Hansel and Gretel.
The lore is just that you and me bastardized Hansel and Gretel.
Oh. Yeah, it's too easy to just give it to like Nisovin or Quintaro or Thor. Those are just like the cop-outs.
We could go the believer cop out too.
Oh yeah.
That it is like a Hansel and Gretel style book.
Uh-huh.
And that the swamp is there because it's part of the book.
Okay, it's like a weird believer
That's like too powerful. Believers are limited.
Yeah,
They don't have god magic.
Very strong.
Yeah. Remember, it is something that just consumes things that fucking exist in it. And like, I don't even like. Is it fast? Like, how does it work?
It
That's
can't
the other
be
thing I'm
fast.
still figuring out.
It can't be
fast because you have to explore it. So, is it the type of thing where when it kills you, you don't realize you're already dead, and like it's like, no, you died like in Act 2.
It's like a parasite. Right? It's like it's something that infects you.
I think it's a delayed reaction. I think it's the type of thing that if you did a campaign, they have by the end of Act 1 to get out.
Right.
And then in Act 2, you do a part where you're just like everybody falls asleep, but then everybody gets up, but they're not actually up. They're just candy at this point.
They're just
and then at the end of it, at the end of the end of Act 5, you just Sixth Sense them and just like, you are already candy. Once they figured out what the candy swamp is, it's like, we gotta get out of there. You run to the edge and you realize you can't leave. You are already candy.
Already candy.
You turn around, see your bodies still asleep there. You're like, oh! Everyone, one by one's puppets turn into
candy.
Candy. And then we play a sound effect. So we don't need to do that campaign. I just explained how we did it. So.
Yeah, you already explained how that campaign would have ended.
kind of spoiled it.
Oh God, who made the fucking candy?
Let's move on.
Okay, because otherwise we're just gonna get stuck on candy forever.
Yeah. Candy's interesting. I like the idea of a candy world because it's aesthetically really cool to have in an RPG.
Yes.
And I like that. Sounds like a great campaign that we would write. Post-launch.
Yes.
Post-physical launch, if we were doing those real-life campaign things, because that would be a really fun campaign for people to put on with their friends.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sorry, it'd be a really mean campaign.
It's a real
basically
campaign.
It's a fun. It's like you want to say, hey, you want to have some fun in Candyland, but also fuck you. You died in Act 2.
It's for the DM who's like fed up of their player shit.
It's for the DM who's like, hey, let's have some fun.
All right.
How
How did you get to candy?
Oh, I don't remember, dude.
Oh, you were looking for like traditional stereotypical RPG things. I don't know how that came to candy.
All right, more RPG things.
Do
we have a meteor site? We do. We have
we
magical
have basically
scar.
Yeah.
The magical scar is where a big mana bomb went off. We don't have a giant wall like a Great Wall of China or anything, but we have the cheese, which kind of serves the same
basically
purpose.
a wall, but that moves.
Like it's like a natural wall that makes it really hard to traverse.
Mm-hmm. It's a wall of 1,000 voices.
We don't have any volcanoes, but we do have like a lot of underground lava areas.
Yeah, I mean we volcanoes to me are like swamps in that you can have a volcano that's just a set piece. I don't know if you need like a lot of named volcanoes.
The wall of 1,000 voices.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Gooderness. I was like, that's interesting.
I love this idea. A wall that isn't actually there, but is just a bunch of voices screaming. And so if you walk in this specific area, it's just screeching in your ears.
And that keeps people out because you don't go through that because there's just too much noise. Before
that can be goblin lore.
Oh, that can be goblin. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Second I say that, right? Doesn't it make sense?
It makes perfect sense. Before we did these lore streams, I thought the URealms world would be fine to live in. Now I'd never want to be there. I don't want to live in this world ever. This place is fucked.
That's interesting.
Yeah, no, I like that. And I also like the goblin lore.
I like the idea of just there's no physical barrier. There's just like a screeching. Just you go in and it's just terrible to be in. That's good, Gooderness. I like that. Good idea. We do have some underground cities.
Yeah, that's goblin stuff. Dwarfs. The dwarfs, Dvirgs probably have underground cities too.
Somewhere where earthquakes are really common. And so anywhere near the cheese.
Yeah, basically.
The negative world?
Negative world?
What does that mean, the negative world?
What is
the negative world?
Like everything's inverted? Is that's just the Shadow Realm, right? Shadow Realm, basically. Negative world. Labyrinth Maze. URealms Australia.
Do we have a big whirlpool?
Oh, like a maelstrom?
Yeah. Is there something that's just making a giant maelstrom in the middle of the sea? Do we have one of those?
Don't know. We could. We don't have a lot, but we don't. Do we have a lot of sea? Are we going back to a lot of sea or not a lot of sea?
We don't have a lot of sea, but we can have a whirlwind in one of the seas we have.
Just a big.
We'll have enough sea that we get to do as much
there?
sea stuff we want to do. I would imagine so. It's probably like a creature or something.
Oh, it's like a big pissed off like water spooky.
Everyone's saying we have a giant maelstrom. I don't remember a giant maelstrom.
You don't have
they made maelstrom the character.
I was using it for the actual words, but.
Do we have people who are trying to drill to the middle of the egg? In the middle of the egg is Varunga and her dragons.
Yeah,
so people don't really like to go too deep underground.
That's where the fucking lava is.
You dig into dragon dens, and then they're not really that fun.
They're not very friendly.
Yeah. You fight whelplings, which if you saw one, you'd be like, "That's a dragon." To which I would correct you. That's a
you say no, that's a whelpling. Giant. We could have a giant maelstrom though, or like no, we can have a maelstrom, a big storm whirlpool. I just feel like we're piling natural disasters onto this world at this point.
We are.
Like,
I mean, that's what a fantasy world is, right? It's a bunch of natural disasters and some fantasy races in the mix.
Well, usually it's a bunch of like, oh, here's some nice cities and stuff instead of here's a bunch of
we got some nice cities. We also got some landmarks and some problems.
What causes? Okay, we could have a big whirlpool though. Like, what causes the whirlpool? Is it a crack? Well, we don't have krakens.
Like a beaver. What? They're big. We saw some pull boats potentially. So. One beaver that's just down there swinging his tail could cause a big whirlpool. Yeah.
He's doing it all the time, or is it every now and then? It's how he gets his food. What is it?
He's like the leader of the beavers, so he's in charge of just whirling,
The beavers have a fucking like society? What?
No.
He's the leader. You said he's the leader.
Yeah.
They have to have some structure if he's a leader.
Yeah. They don't have a lot of structure though.
How much structure do they got?
That's it. They got a leader, and
they got a leader that summons whirlpools.
Yeah, that's the only thing they agreed on.
Oh, they're intelligent then.
No. They just all like whirlpools. So
I'm so confused.
Yeah, I don't think we have a whirlpool, dude.
Yeah. I mean, we can have whirlpools in the natural way you have a whirlpool show up, but
a giant hedge maze. I mean, we would just fireball it.
Yeah. You can just burn that down.
What would we ever use a giant hedge maze for? Like, be honest, if you were in a hedge maze and you were playing D&D, the first thing you would do is try to walk through the hedge maze.
Oh, sure, but if it's like magic,
exactly. But you need to know. You'd check. Now I gotta make a magical hedge maze. All right, who made this? It's got like one of the dragons did it for a birthday party. And they just didn't get rid of it because.
I mean, at that point, you just make a labyrinth.
They did that with grand halls.
We have like trash
coastal area with giant snails. Their shells are prized for armor. Whoa! That's prized for armor. I thought you meant giant, like size of a house.
Like big snails.
Yeah. Because a bunch of empty dead shells on a beach that are the size of a house. There's probably some interesting creatures living in those.
Well, see, I wouldn't make those snails. I'd make those hermit crabs because that makes more sense if it's on a beach. Snails won't go near salt water. They'll die. They're snails.
No. In URealms, they like salt water. That's why they're near the sea.
Okay, they love it. So they're sea snails. They're sea snails. Gotcha. Okay. All right, let's go with the sea snails on the beach.
Oh man. When they die, their
sea snails by the seashore.
Wash up on shore.
Sea snails by the seashore is really good.
Sea snails.
That's their rhyme. Sea snails by the seashore.
Can you see sea snails by the seashore? Sure.
They come with their own tongue twister.
Okay, now we got giant shells.
Yep.
What do we do with giant shells? Somebody has taken these shells and built buildings out of them.
Yep.
Who?
Kobolds.
Kobolds? Yeah. Kobold City.
Was that an
has
excited
been...
yeah or a bad yeah?
No, I like that because I was
Okay.
about to say kobolds myself.
Yeah, kobolds, man. Kobolds.
Coast bolds.
Coast bolds. Yeah, I actually like that. I do like coast bolds.
New subrace coming in URealms.
I mean, we remember we did have a coastal kobold subrace way back.
Yeah.
What were they fucking called? Oh my god.
Beach bolds.
Beach
Beach
bolds.
bolds is good too.
Beach bolds is good too. Oh yeah, we used to have a kobold. Sea swagger kobold, that's right.
Yeah, sea swaggers.
That's right. Back when we had fucking sub races.
And we have sand bolds.
We have sand bolds, coast bolds.
But sand bolds are different, Roman. Okay, sand bolds are not related to kobolds. Okay?
True.
Sand bolds are ground bolds that were uplifted by Fanto, and now they're sand bolds. Okay, they are not related to kobolds except for their genetic.
Yeah,
relation
genetically
to
they're
ground
related,
bolds.
but you know.
But they're not kobolds. If you call a sand bold a kobold, that would be offensive.
Well, also you would, but it doesn't matter because they're slavers, so you wouldn't want, you know.
Yeah.
Who cares about offending a slaver?
Yeah, who cares? They're not really good people. Luckily, I think they got wiped out.
Well, yeah. There's one good one. The one good one got away.
Which one's the good one?
Johan, he's a pretty good guy. He was the one that changed the whole thing. 'Cause I don't think this is we're not doing good shit here.
So he's the last of the sand bolds.
I
Is
think
he the
Roman's,
only one that left?
No, Roman's one got away too. Remember the lady?
That's interesting.
Yeah. We have some sand, but we could have some sand in the future if we needed to. There's characters that can do several things.
Anything else? See, I don't think we need to do another one of these streams for landmarks.
Right.
I think if we do the next lore stream we do will be different.
We've got a lot of fucking landmarks from these streams, so honestly,
I think we can move over to cards, and I can go through this and consolidate this with my lore document, and probably build a world.
Desert
I like the egg. I think we are gonna stick with the egg.
I like the egg. Honestly, I do.
I like the egg. I liked Roman's gravity map. I'm fully ready for somebody to tell me that is not how gravity works, to which I can say it's magic. It's magical gravity.
Yeah, no, I do like the idea of a desert that's been turned to glass because of
The
fire.
null magic zone, an area of the world where you can't use magic.
Ooh. Where the fuck is that and why?
Where do we put an area that's so great for plot?
Yeah.
For because we could make it so like even gods can't use their magic in this for some reason. So if it's gods can't use this magic, it needs to be like where Fanto was when he died.
Yo, that's real good. Where was Fanto when he died, though?
Because when Fanto was because the way it works is Fanto has his body in the sky, his dragon form that was the sun, right? And he's got his elf form that he walks around and hangs out with his children. So wherever he was, I'm gonna guess we're gonna cause an explosion.
Was he just like in the forest that day or some shit? Was it like an innocuous place?
Oh, I don't know.
Or was it a city? I do really like this. I just don't know where it is.
Oh, or it could be an area that is.
Man, I really like the Fanto thing. Like,
yeah, I would imagine that it's like an area where there is like a constant smoke in the sky. Like just walking in it is just like floating ash. All
fog
the time.
and shit.
Yeah, little like sparks too of dark purples. Just
and magic don't
like,
work there.
Magic don't work there.
I love it.
A fog would be nice too, like a
Mhm.
magical fog.
Anti-magical fog.
Let's call it
Mm.
the no-go zone.
No-go zone.
Nobody goes there.
Where do you
Not
go?
allowed.
No-go. No-go.
Nobody goes to the no-go
No-go
zone.
zone.
The place. So this is the reverse. So before we have some things that appear serious,
Uh-huh.
but then are goofy. This is something that appears goofy but is really serious.
Mhm.
You call it the no-go zone. NGZ. You call it the no-go zone when you're talking about it. It sounds goofy, like no-go zone. That's such a dumb name. And then when you hear about what it actually is, you're like, oh, that's really upsetting.
Does anything live in the no-go zone?
No.
No.
I think it has we probably has one of those bad vibes. It's very like just being in there makes you just be like, oh.
Not feel good.
So here's the thing: is we assign magic in our world comes from like your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So like the way you can pull magic is like really concentrating on your feelings. So if magic and feelings are somewhat connected like that, then we would imagine that a no-go place would be somewhere where it would be like feeling depressed.
So the ageless
be
could go
like-
there.
It would be like you have no feeling.
Right. So the
being
ageless
here.
could go there though, because
That's
they
interesting.
have the feelings limited. But then
That's
they're made of
interesting.
magic because they would.
Well,
they
the thing
die.
is that if an ageless went there, they would also like they suffer the same thing of they don't have that feeling aspect.
Mhm.
So I guess it would be totally normal to them.
Yeah.
Would it?
Yeah, because they already feel like that.
Oh, ageless would instant die.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
no,
They would just also
yeah.
instant die crossing the barrier
Yeah.
because of magic.
If they could go in there, that would be great. Oh my god! So the elves could retreat to the no-go zone,
but they'll feel super
And the
depressed and
ageless-
sad
but they feel super depressed and sad.
and cut off from their fucking magic.
Holy shit!
And then it becomes like physical
That's
strength
interesting.
rules once they're there.
That's interesting.
That's how the porks take over. Because they're physically stronger.
The place where Phantom's physical form
Died.
was when he died. His death caused a 1 kilometer, explosion that instantly killed all living things in the area. Probably killed a few important characters.
Sure.
Probably Phantom's wife died.
Oh.
Yeah, probably
Wait,
because the thing is
Wait,
that's the birth
Callisto
of
wasn't
magic time.
Phantom's wife?
Oh yeah, Callisto's.
I was just
Uh,
super confused there for a second.
Yeah, hopefully his consorts.
I mean, he
then,
can
you
have
know,
multiple wives. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got some sort of family member.
Sure.
His children is
Maybe
somebody
those children
somebody
are the
important
dragon
was also
aspect.
killed there too. He's got other children. Wait, does he have other children? Well, yeah, because the elves are his children too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're all his. So just elves. Elves were there.
Yeah, some elves died because we didn't kill a dragon aspect here,
No,
obviously.
Definitely not.
We could have though. We could have had like Goldstamp was there, and that's could have caused. No, we need
No.
Goldstamp to not be fucked up yet.
Yeah, Ghost
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, no, Goldstamp doesn't get fucked up yet.
No.
Not from this.
That's we could just have some.
His
elves.
death caused a 1 kilometer explosion that instantly killed the area. The area remains uninhabited. Oh my god, Rob.
Uninhabited.
This isn't remains. Thank you. Let's try that again.
Uninhabited.
Uninhabited. Maybe something like that, Google? Okay. The area remains uninhabited as no magic can be used in this area, in this dead land. A dense black purple fog constantly remains in the area. The elves forbid anyone to go there. No magic can be used. It's to kill ageless, just remember.
Oh yeah, it's but it would. I don't think it would affect porks or kobolds or anyone made of like by gods and shit. Because
No,
That makes no
only
sense.
Only things that are magical in nature.
Because that means like like everything's made by magic. The elves were made by magic technically. Everything would die if that was the case.
Deep sadness.
Deep sadness.
Or emptiness. So it might be either or.
Yeah.
Could just make you feel nothing. Could make you feel sad.
Would a high bear be able to be killed there? It's just from the chat. I think so, right? Yeah, there's no magic there.
Yeah, but high bears have Callisto still in the sky.
But does the no magic zone counter Callisto?
I think they would.
Yeah.
I think we'd for plot's sake.
Nice. Kill.
Yeah. Oh, we decided even. Yeah.
Gods?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, any magic less than SGG5.
SGG5.
Yeah, so any magic under Sun Dragon God 5 magic.
Okay.
Because that's his level. So that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
That's pretty good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
The no-go zone. That creates so many interesting ideas for us.
That's a real fun lore thing.
That's a very DVZ-esque last retreat spot.
Mm-hmm.
If
But,
angels take over your world.
Hanging out in the no-go zone, that's like a fucked up... You don't want to be there for too long, I would think.
Exactly. So imagine if you had to travel through the no-go zone.
Oh, imagine if you
it's
had
a
to
1
retreat
kilometer
to it.
explosion. That's not big enough.
20. 10.
20. We go 25 kilometers.
I say 20, you go 25. Well, alright.
How big is a nuclear explosion?
Just
on perspective.
I mean, like... You mean like the because the nuclear
How big is a nuclear? I want to know what a city-sized explosion is.
Sure,
size.
but you have the radius of like a crater, but then like a nuke hits a big fucking area that doesn't.
I want the
wipe out
crater
things.
though. I don't want the fallout.
Yeah, you
I
don't
just
want the fallout
crater.
radius. You want the crater radius.
Yeah.
Biggest is 35
25
kilometers.
Yeah, so 25
So
kilometers
25 is
felt-
fine.
25 kilometers felt about right.
Yeah, you got it.
It felt
you
like
got it pretty close.
it feels like Phanto City is gonna get. Oh my God! You know what Phanto was?
I don't. Where was Phanto?
Dude, I know where I want to put this.
Where?
You're gonna tell me you like this. Phanto, at the time of his death, was at. What is this city called? The Flying City?
Oh, he was in the fucking. But wait, how can it stay flying?
Because then we can kill so many shit. The Binu. It's flying because of gravity, dude.
Oh, that's
It's not
right.
magic.
It's not flying because of
It's
magic.
not flying because of magic. It's flying because of the lack of gravity.
I love it. Yes. So
So we could have the no-go zone just be a part of the fucking.
Yep.
And that also can explain why we got rid of so many Binu so fast.
They all got fucking wiped out when
if he was
died.
if he was just happening to visit it. Oh,
So
that's terrible.
Moonwell Pass is in the no-go zone.
Also means that Jack killed so many Binu.
Oh yeah, they killed the most Binu.
This is if we end up going down this path of lore.
Like they thought that Lin killed a bunch of Binu. Nah, they killed way more than Lin
Yeah.
did.
Nah,
Lin just finished
Lin
your job.
Lin just finished the job. Dude, and adventurers who travel to it would just feel so terrible while they're in it. My God, that's fun.
Yeah, it's good shit. The no-go zone.
No go. No one goes.
No go.
To the no-go zone.
No go.
I don't want to say an explosion.
Well, it's like a magical, like a magic
Yeah,
explosion.
exactly. You know what I mean.
Yeah, it's like a magic explosion. It's not like an actual thing that blows things up.
I instantly killed all living things in the area. Yeah, it just killed all life.
Yeah.
And then it would have been overgrown. So it's overgrown now.
Oh yeah.
Because it's not the no-grow zone. So.
It's not the no.
That's the joke the tour guide will make.
It's, like, it's not the others. It's overrun. It's not the no grow zone.
Wow,
this
right? Yeah, that's exactly the scene.
I fucking love it.
I don't want the city to be traveling around the globe because that causes other problems.
It's chained.
Yeah.
It's chained.
There was somebody in chat saying they wanted to see it travel around.
Oh,
but the thing is, the chain adds so much because one, I like the chain is a fun thing to see. It's a fun art image of having, you know, a chained island. But also, it's the way you get to the city because you can't fly. There's not a lot of flight in URealms.
No, we limit flight a lot.
So the way for adventurers to climb up would be this chain.
And they have to go in the no-go zone.
Which is so dangerous, and then you get into the no-go zone, and you
can't use magic to climb the chain. That's why it's so fucking hard.
Oh my god!
You have to just rely on raw fucking strength and
dude, you can't
ability.
fly into the no-go zone, not unless you could physically fly.
Unless you got like a bird.
Gnomish engineer, extras! Gnomes invent the aeroplane.
Aeroplane.
Gnomish blimps.
We did have a gnomish airplane thing at one point, if you remember.
Oh yeah, I remember the scene where the gnome jumps off the plane and kills the dragon.
Yeah, that was
great detail. That lore.
That's great. I'm glad you still remember that.
That is still tentative lore, but obviously I'm never gonna do.
Good. You know? I'm glad that it's still there.
Wasn't that the one where the guy who shoots trees out of his bow?
Yep.
Man, that was before Hanzo.
Yeah.
Now it just feels like a Hanzo meme.
Yeah, we just stole Hanzo.
Yeah, we're not doing that story. We got better stories than shooting trees into dragons.
Shooting trees into dragons. It was really cool when we came up with it. Honestly, it still sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, shooting trees into dragon. I mean, remember that whole story was so we could have the dragon. The whole reason we did that whole story was so because I wanted a dragon's skeleton pinned to a mountain.
Yes.
That's the whole reason I came up with that dumb story that invented the gnomes inventing airplanes to fight dragons.
Inventing airplanes.
Yeah. But clearly, if the gnomes are going to invent airplanes, it would be to go to the no-go zone.
To get into the no-go zone.
Aeroplanes.
But yeah, I guess, man, they take them a while to invent planes.
Well, they're not really trying. Also, flight is hard, buddy.
Yeah, flying's hard.
Okay.
Without magic, obviously.
How would gnomes distinguish between magic and technology? They wouldn't. Magic is technology.
So they'd have to try and build shit in the no-go zone.
It's like magic's just an extension of your body in that world, so they just use them together, right?
Yeah.
I think they treat them the same.
I mean, what's the quote? At some point, technology becomes indistinguishable from magic. So, yeah.
It's the reverse.
It's the reverse.
Magic becomes indistinguishable from technology. Oh, goodness me. How far down does the no-go zone go? Not very. I don't think. I don't think you start feeling it until you start getting to the top of the chain.
Really?
Yeah. And I think there's parts of the city that aren't affected by the no-go zone.
Okay.
Okay. We can have it hit something like, you know, like 85% of the city. So we wipe out a large part of the Binus. You know, obviously there's other Binu in the world because you got Binu that, you know, are visiting other places and stuff. If you're wondering, how did the Binu all die though, Rob? Shouldn't there be like some Binu left? Nah, because that's how breeding works. When you run out of like people, you can't recover. I think we need like 20,000 humans. If we go below 20,000 humans, not likely to recover without, you know, a lot of inbreeding, which is not good for us either. Man, where did I read that?
What? The 20,000 human thing? I have no clue.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before, but it makes sense.
No. I'm wondering. No, that might be from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, really?
I think at the very end of Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, that's not real science. So
No?
maybe they can recoup. I don't know.
Okay.
How many of a species do you need to like recover?
I feel like 20,000 feels
If you have 2, can you really repopulate? Oh, hold on.
Well, yeah, but then you're getting inbreeding.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? And that just causes all sorts of bad
has to be a number
defects.
without inbreeding.
I don't know.
Over 5,000, someone says.
2 in genetic engineering. You know what? You know why the Binu died out, dude.
Mm.
You know why they died out? Besides the whole they weren't able to breed because they got poisoned by.
Because every fantasy world has to have an extinct race.
That's the real reason.
That's the real reason.
That's the real reason. But you know the reason was
Why?
their city, their whole population's died like multiple times. They just checked out.
Just checked out. That's, I mean, true. Like, they're on a dead world. They're the last remaining of like a fucking. They used to be fine.
Checked out, man.
Plus,
like, the world's gonna. The thing is, they're seeing their world die a second time.
That's fucked
so
up.
they know their race has come back. They lived in this great peaceful era again. Okay, but they all would have had memory. They would have had passed down generational memories of like the old times, yada yada yada. Because they're living in the reinvigorated derelict city, right?
Yeah.
Then they have another extinction event that wipes out 85
So it's just like,
people.
well, fuck this.
And then some elves poison all their things so they can't breed.
The Binu's got it real fucking rough.
They really don't have any scientists to solve this problem. Gnomes aren't around yet.
No.
They just kind of enjoyed their lives and faded out of existence.
Feels even worse for Ghostblade.
Maybe there's a few Binu that just still get good silver. You know, they get the good stuff.
Sure.
I don't know.
They might exist if we need them to exist for story purposes.
If we needed them to exist for story purposes.
Now, we have Ghostblade. Ghostblade's a Binu.
There you go, but that's an unnatural Binu that was created by the old gods to fuck with them.
It's true.
Yeah. I love that story.
Well,
The chat impregnates Lynn,
yeah.
and it's the baby of one of the characters, and then it's like, but it's magical insemination, so ha! It's a Binu!
Fuck you, it's a Binu.
Deal with this fucking Greek mythology horse shit that's so bullshit.
Yeah, but it's Greek mythology, so it's good.
Yeah. And it's Ghostblade!
Yeah, it's Ghostblade.
Okay. No-Go Zone is good.
No-Go Zone.
What else? Anything else? What else?
I feel like we've hit all the major RPG tropes.
We did get that. See, the thing is, you were thinking, how are we going to get that thing in the sky?
Yeah.
Now look at it.
Now look at it, so good, right?
It's a strong idea in the sky.
Yeah.
A zoo.
A zoo?
That's just a city thing, not really a landmark.
Unless it's like a fucking big zoo.
Unless they got a beaver and a whelpling. It's a big zoo.
Yeah.
It's on an island.
We brought back these old extinct races.
It's called Pre-Birth and Magic Park.
Yeah, we genetically brought back all the races that exist, all the creatures that exist in pre-birth and magic. And we put them on an island. Because life will find a way.
Pre-Birth and Magic Park. Any other fantasy tropes? I think
we don't have a lot of insect-related stuff, but that's not really for landmarks.
Do we have any big world, small world thing where like everything grows bigger or smaller?
Grows bigger, so like where giants come from?
Kinda. Because we can put that on the the now north side of the egg.
Yeah, we could have like a big land.
We have a mage tower, the Tower of Ultimate Wizardry.
Yep.
Name can't be changed. It's too deep into that.
Wow, Megan hates bugs.
A keen city where everything is keen size. Well, that's definitely not a landmark.
No, that's just
tiny. You just told me to make half a city. A city filled with believers that repeat the same stories over and over again. That kind of is Discipline City.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I mean, they're not in a Groundhog's Day situation, but
it's just where
Las
all the weird
Vegas
shit
is kind of also a Groundhog's Day-ish thing.
Well,
the whole messing with memory anyway.
It's Groundhog's. It's not even Groundhog's Day. It's just you don't remember going there.
Well, just imagine the one guy who's a tour guide that hates going there, but he keeps going back. But every time he gets there, he remembers how much he loves it. But then he remembers he's got a wife and kid back home, so he's got to go back. He's like the one guy who's been there like 6 times. Are you sure you want to go to Las Vegas?
It's terrible.
Telling every. To be honest, well, I'm one of the only tour guides that's ever made it back. Nobody I've ever brought on one of my tours has made it back with me. So I don't really have a good. Don't really have a good chance to bring you back alive. A red desert with red blood. Or a lightning desert. A lightning desert.
Lightning desert I like, but yeah. I think there was one kind of like that in Final Fantasy X. Thought that was
I'd like to see a lightning desert that's created by machines.
See
so
what
it's
I
like
would...
It's a byproduct of magic machines.
Sure. The only thing I like about Lightning Desert is where the lightning struck, the sand would turn to glass. So that'd be kind of cool.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because that's how glass works. Industrial City, yeah.
This is pollution.
It's lightning pollution. In the real world, we have light pollution. There we have lightning pollution.
We have a jungle. It is on Catfight Island.
Catfight Island. And then also jungles if we need them, and campaigns are easy to just make up. They don't need to be landmarks.
What was Deadlantis before it became Deadlantis? Nothing.
There was nothing there. It was just fucking water.
Deadlantis was the first city formed by the ageless who just
I see where the
realized
confusion
they
is.
lived under the sea.
Because you think Atlantis, so it's like, oh, it sank, but no. They built it down there.
Yeah. It's where the dead people built. Yeah.
They built down there.
Yeah, the only thing it shares with Atlantis is that it's a city under the sea. It's not... It
didn't sink.
It's not Atlantis. An amusement park.
I mean, that's just the Binu Great Halls, right? They're like the equivalent of amusement parks. Yeah, the Steampunk City is the no-go zone city. It's dead, though.
We do have underground cave systems.
Mm-hmm. We got goblin stuff already.
An area of the world where the physical world merges with the dream world. Sounds so confusing.
Like a dream forest. I don't know how you really what you do with that. It's cool though.
The dream forest is not very big. It's only like 1 kilometer, but you wouldn't know that going in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That reminds me of the fog in the spirit world in Avatar Korra, where
Yeah,
she's walking on this fog, and then when the fog goes away, you can just see like hundreds of people just hanging out in a pit.
Yep.
What if the candy tree thing was for the result of the dream world?
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
If it was someone's nightmare come to life.
Yeah, it was nightmare given shape.
Let's do horror shit.
Let's do horror
a
shit.
Yeah, a nightmare come to life.
That's a pretty big nightmare.
Yeah, but we could have it a god's nightmare.
My god's nightmare. Oh, that's kind of cool. Divine fell asleep and had a nightmare. Divine decided to try out that whole sleeping thing to see what it was like and ended up having a fucking nightmare.
That's cool. Maybe.
Yeah, that's definitely a good reason for that.
I love this idea of a lightning desert with glass.
Yeah.
That sounds like such a cool area to explore.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen that, or did you just come up with that yourself?
There's the lightning thing in I think Final Fantasy X. I don't know if it's a desert though. There's a place where just lightning constantly fucking strikes.
Yeah, but is there glass?
Oh no, I don't know if there's glass or not. The glass thing, that was just what would happen if lightning struck sand. That's
cool.
That's just actual life.
I don't know. What YouTube video are you seeing where somebody has lightning hitting sand and it turns to glass? I want to see this YouTube video.
No, it's not YouTube. It's just knowing that how you get glass is it by heating up sand.
Well, submit this idea to the Slow-Mo brothers and get this YouTube video done because I want to see lightning hit sand
how do you
and
make
turn it to glass, man. If that's a thing that can be done in real life, I want to see it. That's some science.
Actually, Rod, there's a bunch of YouTube videos that show it, and it looks so fucking cool.
Oh my god, I gotta Google this.
Oh my god, the images of like lightning hit sand is amazing. That's pretty fucking cool. Makes little fucking spires.
Oh my god, you guys watching this YouTube video need to stop fucking watching this YouTube video and go Google videos about lightning hitting sand on glass.
Yeah, it's good shit.
Yo, that is crazy.
And it would look really fucking cool.
I want to see someone actually do it. They only have pictures, really.
Yeah, I mean, how the fuck do you get lightning is hard, dude. It's hard to get lightning to do shit.
Get a science man to do it, man.
Get a science man to do it. Get a science man to do it, because they have lightning powers.
Get a science man to do it, man.
I mean, you could probably set up a thing. Like, set up a, whatchamacallit, pylon or some shit. Tesla thing, Tesla coil.
I feel like I have enough to build a world.
That's a lot of stuff.
But I want just a few more things.
You want more?
Just a few more.
Lightning rod, thank you, Megan. I couldn't think of the word lightning rod.
Just want a few more. Just a few more ideas of things I can stick in the world. You know why? So I can cut some.
So you can go like, this doesn't get to stay.
Yeah, because it'll be like, this was too stupid.
Big hole.
What are some egg-related things?
Egg-related things?
Yeah.
I mean, all the egg-related things I can think of are food.
That's fine.
Scrambled eggs, eggs Benedict, huevos rancheros. Oh, huevos rancheros are amazing. Yeah, ramen.
Dragons are basically just space chickens if you think about it, because they just kind of go to these giant egg planets and.
Wait, is every planet an egg?
I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
We're gonna have to find out in Space Squirrels.
Okay, I'm excited for Space Squirrels.
When we eventually do the Space Squirrels show, we will never visit URealms. It'll just exist in the same universe, but the Space Squirrels can never visit URealms. That's the rule.
What if there was one of the Space Squirrels was one of our chubby squirrels from URealms, though?
No, that's why they can't visit.
No.
They'll be angry.
I want to see the chubby squirrels. Man, what else?
The Space Squirrels can't know about the old gods, dude.
That's true.
When we do the Space Squirrel show, it has to not be meta. You know why? We already did a fucking meta show for years.
Yeah.
Space Squirrels can exist in the universe. That's fine. They just can't find out about the dragon thing.
A fighting tower. We already have the tower in wizardry.
3-headed chickens that blow fire. Okay, guys,
a
you're just
monster.
coming up with things.
You
We're looking for landmarks.
Yeah.
Things that would be big, world-changing
Buildings,
things.
areas.
Or ideas. Like, ideas that, like...
Just like a cheese wheel.
do video games exist in URealms?
No?
Has a gnome created a video game?
No?
Potentially. I don't think so. I mean, they could. It depends.
VR, maybe?
Because, yeah, well, you know they have, like, crystal ball technology.
Sure.
No, I don't think they have video games.
Not yet. Maybe.
I mean, they could be on the cusp of inventing them. So I could say this, but then we could do a campaign and the guy's like, I just made a Matari.
I just made a Matari. This is my new game, Mong.
Hey, Mom, get me the brand new Nissa Nintendo.
Nissa Nintendo. And then the Super Nissa Nintendo. And then the Nintendo 64.
Nissa Nintendo.
And then this. Oh, God, it's so good. Oh. The game gnome. Oh, the game king.
Game gnome. You just got gnomed. The game gnome.
Jesus Christ. Oh boy.
See, now we're gonna make the Nissa Nintendo.
Now the Nissa Nintendo is gonna be a thing in Nissa Jamboree, but still.
Yeah. Hey, you want to buy a gnome genie for your Nissa Nintendo? Oh god.
Oh man. Yeah, well, you still want a couple more. I don't know what else we need though.
What if one of the oceans is loose sand instead of water?
Oh.
How does that work?
It's like quicksand? Wait, no, quicksand's not loose.
Liquid sand.
Liquid sand? Isn't that just fucking water? Like,
it's like yellow.
okay, it's different colored water.
Yeah, and it's more coarse.
Okay.
Swimming in it gets you little cuts on your bodies.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Liquid sand is glass, okay. So molten glass.
So glass, yeah.
Fuck.
A molten glass lake.
Ugh.
What would swimming in molten glass be like?
Like the swimming in lava. I mean, lava, not really. Lava's hotter, but it's still pretty fucked. It's like swimming in molten steel or some shit, right?
Would it cut me, though?
No, it wouldn't
Or
cut
just
you.
melt me?
It would melt you. It would coat you.
Okay. When I take my limb out, it's going to be burned and scalded, but will I also have a layer of glass?
Science, I don't know what the science is on that. I feel like it's at such a high temperature that you would just you would erupt in flame, I think, because that's how lava works, but I don't know if it's not as hot as lava, obviously. I don't know. Maybe. Sure, people are saying yes, you would have an arm covered in glass. Oh, so you get stuck in it, so you would be able to pull it out. There you go.
It would make you roll several impossible death rolls. Man, several impossible death rolls? Jeez, sounds worse than lava.
Yes, death. That's, yeah.
Okay, but what if instead of... I like this idea of a lake, but instead something else.
A lake,
Okay.
but instead something else.
Right? So we could do Kool-Aid. Go.
Why
Could we have... I'm just saying, could we have a juice lake?
Okay, yes, we could have a juice lake, but I feel like we're getting dangerously close to the candy swamp with the juice lake.
You're right. So we could have a... We could have a beer lake.
You can have a beer lake. That's more. That's
Mhm.
a Thor thing, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be okay with a beer lake.
A milk lake?
Oh, ew. That sounds disgusting.
Honey?
Honey
That's a good
lake.
one.
I'm only okay with the honey lake if there's bees.
Whoa! Bring out the bee people from
Bring out the
season
bee
1.
people.
We can put them on the north side.
Oh.
Low gravity allows them to fly.
Yeah, and they have a
The
honey
low gravity has allowed bees, since the birth of magic, to grow in size.
Mhm.
Because now their wings can carry more weight.
Yep.
Evolution.
Evolution.
What were our bee people called?
Oh, dude, are we actually doing the bee people?
What were they called? They had something. They had a cool name.
Bee. Fuck, what were they called?
Guidos?
Guidos. Because they looked like Guidos because they were Roman or Italian or some shit.
Okay, well, this sounds kind of offensive.
It was kind of offensive.
Maybe we're better people and we can come up with better bee people.
Maybe we could come up with better bee Egyptians. We're not doing
Ah,
bee
bee
Egyptians.
Egyptians. No, we're on to something.
Seriously?
No. I'm just writing it on the doc. Because it's funny. Everybody enjoys that I've written it out on the doc, okay? I wrote it out because we all thought it was funny. Oh, yeah, didn't they end up being bee news?
No. Binu is the name we gave the Binu.
Exactly, but didn't we keep to get that for derivative because we started on B?
No, we started. So the Binu started as Sky Egyptians, and they were bird people. And then I was like, okay,
Maybe-
well, an Egyptian bird is a Binu is
Okay.
an Egyptian bird.
When we went around this, we went honey, we all immediately went to bees.
Mhm.
What if, instead of bees,
Bears.
they were, teddy bears?
Teddy bears?
Teddy bears are different than bears.
Rob, do you really want to make teddy bears canon in URealms after the teddy bears in Dead Realms have proven to be very racist?
Oh my god, I forgot we have teddy bears in Dead Realms.
Yeah. You can
Oh
have
my
the
God.
you can have the teddy bears. I'll let you get. You can have those if you want.
Oh, the racist teddy bears.
Racist teddy.
Do we
bear.
adopt Dead Realms lore?
This is the thing. It does work. It does work backwards because dead things that appear in Dead Realms could appear in your realms if you wanted them to.
I really hate putting more racists in my virtual
More
world.
racists.
Like, I just feel like I got enough racism. Do I really need like a purely xenophobic, like jingoist, super racist?
Like we
Teddy
have,
bear?
like everyone hates goblins. That's pretty racist. Then the elves hate everybody else. That's racist. Dwarves don't like kobolds. That's racist.
Even the spiders are racist. Like,
spiders. Everyone's racist.
jeez, man.
Except gnomes. Gnomes aren't racist. Ugh.
They don't have to be racist.
Ooh, Byzantines is a good name for a bee race, actually.
Yeah, I saw it in chat.
That's actually solid, but
Yeah, it's
We
a good
do-
pun name.
do we need
It's a
more
good pun
races?
name to an empty idea.
Yeah, yeah. Do we need more races? We don't need more races, do we?
This all started with the lake idea.
Lake.
I'm not sold on honey.
No.
Honey isn't fun to swim in. But juice! Juice is delicious.
I think juice is too close to candy.
What if it was like watermelon juice?
That doesn't change.
Doesn't
still-
it? It's a pink ocean.
It's still a
Power juice.
power juice.
This is a fucking game we made in
Oh, that's
Minecraft.
right. That was the arrow bow thing.
And I think when you drink juice, I would yell "Power juice," and then they would play a juice song. It's actually a good idea for a game
Yeah.
because it's just hey, if you drink the juice, you get to listen to Power Up music and get a super buff.
What would you put in the ocean?
Juice Lake.
Juice.
See, that's where Bruce would get the juice.
That's Bruce's juice.
It's like just a divine watermelon that's been tapped like a keg.
It could just
pouring a river.
Could just be divine watermelon. The ambrosia of the gods. Yeah, ambrosia.
It's just a really, really big watermelon.
That's why. Okay, why do you need a lake for that? Why can't you just have a big watermelon?
And they just cut the top off.
Just cut the top off, and they put, they carved the inside out and filled it with alcohol.
Elixir of fruit.
Elixir fruit.
What other liquids could we swim in?
I mean,
chocolate.
Too close to candy.
Wine.
Wine. I don't mind.
Wine is interesting because it goes back to the alcohol.
Wine is a fusion of juice and alcohol.
Which it could still be Bruce's juice.
It could still be Bruce's juice.
That's interesting. Wine.
Wine lake.
Do we have it so like a vineyard made it so all the grapes got really, really big, and it's just causing a flood, and it's just created rivers of wine?
Rivers of wine.
That has a very earthy taste, but I mean, it gets better every year.
Yeah.
That's the thing. At first, people didn't like the wine rivers. Just tasted like soggy juice. But
over time,
age 50, age 100, age 3000, that's some good fucking wine.
That's a pretty good wine.
3,000-year-old aged wine. It ain't bad.
It's probably some really fucking good wine.
Yep. It's hipster wine, ultimately.
Oh yeah, no, that's like the most hipster of wine. This bottle's 3,000 years old.
Yeah. Like some people try to distill the earthiness out of it, but then you're just ruining the flavor.
Yeah.
So
they drink it and they don't even like it.
So you're drinking river water, which you don't know what else is in that fucking.
Oh, there's got to be like
wine.
Fish and shit in it, drunk fish, obviously. But
it's just drunk fish, swammies, of course.
Swammies. Oh, that's where swammies come from.
Oh shit!
That's where swammies come from.
Too many connections.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Too many connections. Okay, wine river. Swammies in river.
Swammies get you super drunk and high, so it makes sense.
River has aged very well. What created the wine river?
I mean, my go-to is Thor, but...
What if somebody climbed a mountain?
Sure.
Okay. And they had a bottle of wine enchanted to be bottomless.
Oh, we have bottomless things in the game already, so that actually makes a lot of sense. Okay. If a bottomless wine just got left somewhere no one could find it.
Yeah, and they got drunk and they left it on the mountain, and now it's been pouring down the mountain.
For so long it made a river.
For so long it has made a river.
Yeah. That's really good.
Does that make sense? Is that possible? Could a bottle of wine, if it kept pouring out long enough, eventually create a river? I don't think so.
It could make a lake.
I would assume it would mostly just evaporate.
Why? It's magic.
Won't the whole world flood eventually? It's also another problem with the world.
I mean, it's bottomless.
The symbolism for climate change in URealms is becoming immense.
It's just everywhere.
Many things that we could solve if we work together, but are slowly going to destroy us.
Well, yeah, if it evaporated, it would just make wine rain.
Rivers in real life have much smaller sources than a wine bottle. Really?
Oh, really?
So you think if I had a wine bottle that was just constantly pouring wine
for thousands of years,
long enough it could be a river?
That's cool. I hope so.
What prevents the flooding? Ultimately, though.
Ultimately? I mean, eventually the rivers would find a way to another source of water, so they just end up going into the ocean.
Has it eroded another way to the ocean? Is that what's
Probably.
going on?
That's probably what would happen.
Or is it the fact that people have started harvesting the river? People have started harvesting the river.
People have started harvesting the river.
Because
Which
think
would also
about
control it.
Yes, yes.
Like, you know, like you have those water wheels, an actual river.
It's natural.
Yeah.
Fish, and the beavers are drinking the wine.
They make the beavers make the dams.
People are taking the wine.
Yeah. Oh my God, we have cheese river. We have cheese and
Wine
the wine river.
cheese! All right. An elf climbed. Of course, it was an elf.
I had to be because this needs to be old.
An elf climbed to the top of a mountain and left an enchanted bottle of the finest wine at the top. Over the last 3,000 years, it has created a wine river. The river is now shrinking more than growing in size due to the high demand of river wine.
River wine.
Who wants some river wine?
Oh boy.
You know what I love? Somebody could climb that mountain, just pick that bottle up,
Just end it.
everywhere, ruin economies, ruin ecosystems.
See, that's why you in a campaign you just put us on a mountain. You see a bottle of wine just spilling over the corner of a mountain, and you just want to see if anyone's pick it up. Boy.
Now here's the thing. I don't think people know the source of the wine river.
They can't.
The source of the wine river is a mystery to all.
It's like you dropped it down a fucking
As
crevice or
its
something.
creation is an accident. No other person has ever had the idea to do this.
Because, yeah, that's what happened. If someone figured out, like, wait a minute, I could just make rivers?
Because, yeah, obviously, people would be doing this with lots of shit.
Yeah.
There. Plot holes.
A whole big tied up.
That is not a clean hole, Phil.
But it's good enough for now.
Why hasn't anyone ever done this and made their own rivers? Nobody's thought of it.
Nobody.
If you do it, you'll be the first person to ever do it. The first one was created by accident. Over 3,000 years ago, it would be buried. No. It was at the top of the mountain.
It's just hanging out.
The top of the mountain was above the clouds. Checkmate.
Checkmate.
That's how science works, I'm gonna guess.
This is science work.
It's some science for you. Good. See? I knew there was something we were missing.
Yeah, a wine river.
A wine river.
To go with the cheese.
There's got to be that town where the river is on one side and the cheese is on the other.
Oh my god.
And that's where everyone retires
That's
to.
the high class fucking, like...
There is a
Retired
point on
home.
the map where a town is in range of the cheese and the wine river.
God.
This is the town most characters say they want to retire to. All right.
Yep.
What is the name of the place people retire to? It has to be a good name because we probably would never go here. It's just somewhere we always reference.
When
I'm done with this job, me and the husband, we're gonna head down to Zinumbago.
Zinumbago.
Yeah, we're gonna head down to Chambladora.
Cracker
We're gonna head
Line.
down to
Manchester.
Free room service.
Free room service.
Yeah. No.
Charcuterie.
Burger Town.
That's pretty good. Disneyland, Sunsetville, the Bahamas, Craft Park,
Disneyland.
happiest place on earth, Wine Cheddar, Winchester.
Oh, Winchester.
Winchester's pretty good.
Because that's already in lore.
Yeah, we already have Winchester bottles.
Also, that means this is where Douglas is from.
Yeah, he's from Winchester.
Because his name is Douglas Winchester.
Yeah, he's Winchester.
Okay, got it.
I like it when we can reuse stuff we already wrote.
Dude, Winchester almost has the word wine and cheese in it. We have to use Winchester.
Yeah.
That's all. It's already a place we have.
That's when we can reuse things that we already made up. It's always good.
Damn.
Look at that shit.
All right. I think that's good for today, Deadbones.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I like this. This is like the third week we've done landmarks, and now I'm pretty comfortable to kind of take this, all the towns, and start kind of planning it on some sort of like map, which is going to be confusing, because I'm gonna have to figure out how to make a map on an egg shape.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
You know, that's kind of weird. How do we put a map on our poster on our walls, guys, if it's an egg shape?
It would just be like,
I think it's gonna be one of those maps that doesn't actually fit an egg, but is just the artistic representation.
Maybe? Yeah, you can turn it sideways, but like you have a map of the world. That's not spherical shape. It would just be, I don't know. You can figure it out.
Yeah, I think it's just map shape. It just doesn't have to be egg shape on the map, because that would be lame. You know?
It's fine.
It'll be distorted. The north side will look huge.
Yeah.
Like the size of the ice problem will be Yeah.
You mean the south side?
No, the north side, because the north side. Wait.
We switched it. Remember, south side is where the ice is now.
Oh yeah. Oh, so the flying castle at the top of the map will look massive, but it's not.
No,
it's just stretched.
Just stretched.
But that'll be cool, because then the art for the castle can be more drawn, because it can be. Ooh, my brain! I'm still got some juice flowing for ideas. Thank you for joining me, Deadbones.
No problem.
I will see you next Saturday for Dead Realms.
Yes,
I don't know if we're doing anything in between there, but next Saturday for sure.
Next Saturday, Dead Realms.
Cool. All right, bud. Thanks for all the fun, and I'll see you next time.
All right. Later.
All right, guys. Have a quick little cheese. What? Oh, that's a nice big cheese. We're going to have a hat sale next time. I know. If you were waiting for a hat, I'm sorry. But I'm going to pass you guys over. Let's go see. Who's rated? Ah, Purple. Have I ever rated Purple? I don't know. I met Purple at TwitchCon. I don't know if we've ever rated him, though. But he's streaming. He's streaming that new game, Anthem. So why don't we go over there and say hello tonight? What am I doing this week? Yeah, I don't know. Check the events. I might do some streams in between. I have a lot of work I gotta do though. I got some programming I gotta do. I got editing for Plate of the Plot I want to do. I got editing for sound work for Natives on Forgotten Quest. A lot of projects that need a lot of editing work this week. So I don't know how much streaming I'll be doing. But I might be hanging out with Paz on his stream. So if you see Paz streaming, check him out, because I might be playing some games with him. And yeah, I'll probably be back maybe next Friday with a stream, or next Saturday with Dead Realms. So, or maybe something in between when I get the new software done for betting. When I have the new betting software done, we might do a test stream for it. So look out for that. So get your cheese. Get your cheese, guys. Gonna be rating Purple here. So if you want to come say hello with me, we can do that. And I will see you guys next week. Hope you guys had fun. Hope you guys liked doing all this URealms Lore stuff. We will probably be doing more of this next month. Probably same time, same day, Saturdays. So just watch the events. here on the Twitch page, or go to RAWB.tv/events, and just keep your eye out for them. You guys have yourself a good night. Have yourself a good weekend. I'll see you guys next week.